The following is a presentation of The Day.
It's a Friday night showdown under the lights at Stonington High School between two of the premier teams in the ECC, vying for supremacy in Division III. But oh, how the roads are different for Stonington High School, playing host to Killingly in a battle in ECC football. It's all live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is their top priority. Get the personalized dental care you deserve at waterforddentalhealth.com or 177 Boston Post Road in Waterford. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. And sports doctor, two teams at the top of the heap right now, but if you look at the 5-year pattern, two very different roads to get here.
Yeah, one team with, definitely the body work, the body of work to, put them up to the top in the league and in the state, and Killingly the staple of the division the last 5 years and in the state. And Stonington, surprisingly, Casey, look at them, 3-1, their toughest test of the year. So this is going to be a big test for both teams. Both teams' toughest test of the year.
I feel like Killingly's played nothing but big games over the last 5 years, and you could argue this is the first big game or important game at this point in the season at Stonington in any number of years.
Jimmy Bunicor
it's been a long time. The Killingly football team will kick off in the white road uniforms. Stonington on your right in the brown. Kick goes up, and it comes down to Stonington. Mooney up the middle, and a nice return by Josh Mooney as he gets out to the 45-yard line, where Lucian Tedeschi will take over as quarterback and lead Stonington in an offense, sports doctor, that you're told
they're going to open it up a little bit tonight. We're going to open the playbook up, and there was no reason to show a lot in the first couple of games, I guess. Stonington had their way and made their way through the first 4 weeks outside of the game against Fitch pretty easily. So we're going to see a little wrinkle tonight in the playbook for A.J. Massingill.
First snap goes over the head of Tedeschi. He does a great job of corralling it, but he can't avoid the tackle of Alex Apotopiski, and he's going to be brought down for a big loss. So we saw bad snaps all night last night.
It's almost like a microcosm of last night, too. I think the first play for New London was a high snap, and it went from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 19. Here we are, 2nd and 19.
It's funny because all these teams that want to go to the shotgun, they want to go to spread offenses, first thing you have to be able to do is get a snap.
Yeah.
So 2nd down and 20, Tedeschi, motion man. Tedeschi swings it out, and it's incomplete as he was going to Castigliolo, but they're going to say actually he held on to it and
I thought
lost
it was a
yards.
fumble. I mean, it was a forward pass or a toss sweep. The beanbag did come out.
So they're saying that it was on the turf, which means it was loose, and
it was a fumble. Yeah.
Castigliolo got it, but he lost 3 more. So Stonington has gone minus 13 yards in plays 1 and 2. By the way, look at the size of the Killingly defensive line.
Yeah, huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Big up front.
Putting pressure on the diminutive line of the Bears. 3rd down and very long. Tedeschi's going to keep it himself. Rolls. Now throws. Complete it goes to Aubry. And that'll get them close to the original line of scrimmage. But it's going to be well short of the 1st down. And I think the Bears will be forced to punt. And out goes the punt unit.
It's one of those things where early going in the game, as a team like Stonington coming in, when you get the ball first, you get a good kickoff return out to about the 44, 45-yard line. Then the wheels kind of come off, and then you have to punt and give it up to Killingly. And not the start that A.J. Massingill wanted. I'm tending to think maybe some nerves out there. This is kind of a big game for them. They're not used to a team like Killingly coming in here, ranked, number 9 in the state, state champion in the past.
Beautiful punt angled away from Jax and away from Colangelo, out of bounds. It'll go.
The kick is out of bounds.
Looks at about the 20, all the way up to the 30-yard line. 30-yard line, and so Killingly will take over, and it's time for us to see the backs.
Yeah.
It's time for Jack Sharp and Soren Reef.
Killingly takes over.
And no nerves here. This Killingly team, this Killingly football team is, no stranger to big games, no stranger to going on the road and winning games, and no stranger to starting fast on the road. We saw them start fast at Waterford, start fast at East Lyme, put points on the board and put pressure on the Stonington defense.
Reef is the fullback, and Sharp is the tailback. And we're going to get a whistle and a penalty flag right away. That'll probably be a false start against Killingly.
Flag on the play.
Either that or
They're counting bodies.
too many men, yeah. Let's see what they say. Yeah.
12 men on the field.
Yep, penalty against Killingly, and back him up. Taking a look at Killingly.
Legal motion, 5-yard penalty.
You got Shane LeDuc, who is enormous. You've got Terrence Allen, who's enormous. They got some big boys on the offensive line.
Big ones up front.
Sharp off tackle, now goes straight up the middle. Breaks a tackle, and breaks another tackle, and up close to the first down. It's going to be like a 13-yard gain on first down for Jack Sharp.
Yeah, RPO offense. They run people over. Sharp is one of those kids in north-south running style. Casey, low to the ground, strong, can break tackles. And, he's got a little giddy up in his hitch, too, when he gets in the open field.
Now, very physical Stonington defense, but an undersized defense comparative to the size of Killingly. And Killingly will not do anything too confusing here. This time, dive. Goes to Reef. He'll have the first down. He crosses the 40-yard line to the 42. And I watched Thomas Dreibholz, the quarterback of Killingly, throw before the game. I think on other teams,
they can throw the ball.
He'd be in a spread throwing it around. He's got a nice arm. He's a size for a quarterback. But these two running backs and that offensive line, so effective.
From their own
That Soren Reef is, you talk about Pony Express from back in the days. A little 1-2 punch. There you go.
I'm going to use a wrestling analogy here in a second. Hand off to Sharp. And a nice job that time as the Bears were prepared.
71.
Trevor Costa got up there. So Goldberg, the wrestler, he likes to come to the ring and say, who's next? That's the motto for Chad Neal at running back at Killingly. Who's next? Because we have gone just back to back to back. And right now, Sharp is a senior, and Reef's the sophomore.
Yeah.
And all he's going to do next year
is
take
somebody else.
He's just going to take 4 steps backwards. Right now he's playing fullback. Next year he's going to take 4 steps backward, and he's going to be the tailback.
One of the kids on the bench will find their way at fullback.
Who's next? Second and we'll call it 8.
Goldberg.
Got him to jump, and so that is going to be a neutral zone infraction. It's going to be offsides against Stonington.
Bears jump offside.
Because as we learned, once you break the neutral zone in high school, it's a penalty. Can't get back.
He's 2nd and 4.
Our own Mike DeMoro for his rules article, letting us know all of the things that I did not know.
49-yard
I feel so much smarter now, thanks to Mike DeMoro.
2nd and 4 for Killingly.
Pretty soon, I'll have him talking sabermetrics. Reef up the middle, first down, crosses the 40. And Killingly just moving the chains, methodical.
Yep.
And, Sports Doctor, for an offense that's not complicated, they've put up a lot of points this year.
Yeah, they have. 42, and I believe 50-something against Lewis Mills. That was the number. And, again, it's not sexy,
Reef on the carry,
but it's very effective. Get behind the center, get behind the guard and the tackle, find a hole and hit it.
Sharp. And nice job that time. The Bears trips them up. Jumping in on that was Jack Zuro, and gain of about 2. There's a reason why Gavin Keefe, the great writer for the day, loves Killingly. It's because for the same reason we love some of the other schools. Everyone's running spread, right? Everyone's doing all the comp. They're very uncomplicated, very simple, but stop them. Go ahead.
That's the thing. You got to stop them. And they don't hurt themselves.
No.
It's a very disciplined football.
2nd and 8.
Chad Neal's got the team very well coached. Little pro set this time. Hand off to Reef.
Sharp.
Check that Sharp. And Sharp, nice tackle by Zuro on the edge. And that'll bring up our first 3rd and long for Killingly.
Strange on the carry, Massengale on the initial hit. Gain of 1.
That's number 7, Aiden Strange on the tackle.
3rd and 8.
7 is Jack Zuro.
Oh, okay, got it wrong.
Injured.
It's because you want to use a different roster, so you want to use the ones that are correct.
There you go.
Yep, keep going. No, you got to pack it over there someplace.
Okay, I'm with you.
There you go. That's what you want, right there.
Jack Sharp is the injured player. Round of applause,
My bad.
please.
So Sharp goes off the field as he got nicked up on the play, and so you'll have Reef staying in at fullback, but now coming in at the tailback position will be Keith Perry, a junior.
I got you. Thank you, sir.
So Perry is now the back. Dive to Reef. Nice hole. Gains about 5, and he'll cross the 35. It's going to bring up 4th down, but this is 4-down territory here for Killingly. So a big opportunity for the defense of Stonington to hold.
4th and 3.
See if Stonington can win the battle of line of scrimmage on the 4th down.
34-yard line.
Stuff the box. And again, you got to pick your poison here. Who do you key on?
4th and 4 at the 34.
For the hard count.
Nice job staying put by Stonington. Now the play is going to come in. We're going to call timeout.
Yeah. That's the idea. Go up there, try to trick him with the hard count. They don't get it. Chad calls timeout.
We have a timeout on the field, and this timeout is brought to you by CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. Learn more at cracct.com. That's SERACCT.com. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, here at Stonington High School, the Donald Palmer Field. And we got a pink out in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as the Stonington section just launched a pink smoke bomb, so to speak.
Sure. And nice crowd here tonight, too.
It is a nice crowd. Where else would you want to be on a Friday night in Stonington High School? Chance to see two premier football teams in the ECC. You'd probably rather be at like a Cinderella concert at the Wolf Den.
It's coming.
All right, so 4th and 4. What's Chad Neal going to do? The first thing he's going to do is that wide split formation that we've seen so much. Reef is on the right and Perry on the left.
4th and 3.
Quarterback keeper straight up the middle. It's going to be close, and it's going to spin on the spot. Drybolts went forward. He's got a good size, but it's really going to be the spot. And looking where the officials are, I think he's short.
Trevor Costa, number 71,
quarterback
closing up. And
the Bears
Jack
hold.
Zuro again on the stop, too. So Stonington holds Casey on 4th and 4.
Yep.
Big time stand for that defense. Give them a lot of credit.
Yep.
Drybolts came to the line, quick count, tried to catch the defense off guard, took it up front, and again, 71 Costa and Jack Zuro. Big defensive series that time for him.
Now, you know that Killingly is going to keep pounding you, and so right now what's really important is Stonington has to keep their offense on the field.
Yeah, let's get some first downs here. Let's give a defense some rest.
Tedeschi keeps it himself, heads up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets into the open. Tedeschi to the outside. Tedeschi shows speed, breaks one more tackling, stumbling and out of bounds, finally down inside the 10-yard line. He was chased all the way by Noah Colangelo, but a big run by Lucian Tedeschi, and the Bears are in business.
Pushed out of bounds by Colangelo, number 11.
I got it about a 56-yard run that time for Tedeschi. Got into the open field and turned on the Jets that time.
Yeah, Colangelo was chasing him the whole way. Tedeschi did a great job, and Colangelo got just enough of the foot for Tedeschi to stumble. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Tedeschi's going to keep it himself again. Check it. This time it's Castigliolo. So Castigliolo with the carry. Direct snap that time. Castagliolo that time.
Gain of 5.
No, gain of 5. So.
By Castagliolo.
That's the first time I've seen Stonington all year long. I'm kind of intrigued by this offense a little bit. Get some nifty play calls down there.
Yep, you're going to see Castagliolo and you're going to see Tedeschi interchangeable as far as the snap. So they go to one side or the other.
Right.
Snap to Tedeschi. Keeper up the middle. Big hole into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Lucian Tedeschi on the quarterback keeper, and the Bears are up 6-0.
6 points for number 6. He was untouched. He got behind the big center in the offensive line and got through and found the end zone. And what an answer for Stonington. A hold on 4th down, killing the offense off the field. We're going to come up, and we got 1, 2, 3 plays, touchdown.
And what a difference a series makes for Stonington. Much more efficient that time. And in for the extra point is Mooney. Snap is good, hold is good. Mooney's kick is up, and it is true. And with 4:58 remaining in period number 1, Stonington High School 7, the Killingly football team 0. And after an initial little bit of perhaps nerves or a little bit of sloppy play on their first possession, Stonington right back in the mix.
No, they're gone. They are gone. Again, it's I think the defense, the hold on 4th down, the offense comes out for their second possession, and 3 plays later they find the end zone.
I'd like to congratulate the cheerleaders tonight. And their coach, Katrina Dolan.
Word on the sideline
Bridget
is that
Dolan
Jack
checked out
Sharp has an ankle
for their
injury.
job.
His return
Leading the
is
Bears tonight.
probable, but at this point, we'll go series by series with him.
Back-to-back games, we've seen one of the top tailbacks go down
Mooney to
early.
kickoff.
Yeah, and it's ironic because I think you can say that when Outlaw got hurt last night,
Yeah.
it changed the offense for Ledyard into the most in sync they were, because his
Ben
brother
Jax is back.
had to start taking some responsibilities
Sure.
and
And
threatening.
Kobe Lopes is
Once
back
they went to the
defensively.
option with the quarterback threat and Green outside, that's the offense that actually moved the ball enough for that only score of the game. Mooney will kick off for Stonington. Jax is back deep.
A lot of life on that Stonington bench, huh?
Line drive, takes a hop, bounces up. Jax will take it at the 15-yard line. Heads straight up the middle, and he's tripped up by Ethan Mahoney. And Killingly will have their next possession at the 33-yard line.
Watt Jax on the
Well, your
carry
eyes are
on
better
the
than mine,
turn.
my friend,
Ethan
because I
Mahoney
was
on the tackle.
Ethan Mahoney. I thought you were 17.
Now the first thing we should
14
say is
yards,
that Jack
first and
Sharp's
10 lead.
back on the field.
Yeah.
So Sharp back in, the ankle taped up.
They're on the Killingly 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the Killingly 34-yard line. So let's see how Killingly responds. Again, Killingly's been in this spot before.
Yeah.
Stonington, not so much. Drybolt's under center. Reef, fullback dive, big hole. Reef breaks a tackle, still on his feet, all the way to the 40-yard line of Stonington before he's finally brought down by Ben Massengale. But that's a big run on first down for the for the Killingly football team.
Yeah,
and I almost did.
Yeah, I almost said it. There's your answer. 25 yards
Initial hit by
plus ripped off by
Massengale.
Soren Reef.
1st and 10 for Killingly.
Quick hit and play. With the offensive line moving some people up front.
Stonington's 40-yard line.
Reef
Sharp.
finds him, yeah.
Well, Sharp's just such a talented back that you really have to pay attention to him, and that allows Reef to pick his spots on that dive. And he's a Sharp clone. This time Sharp gets it straight up the middle. Same hole, same result. Gain of 6.
Maybe a bit of a challenge given by Chad Neal in between series to the offensive line and start moving some
Sharp
people
on the
around
carry,
up front a little
gain
bit.
of 6.
You know,
Stopped by
Sharp is definitely not 100%. He's not running with quite the same crispness
Castagliolo,
that Reef
number
is.
3.
He's still a threat, but clearly the ankle,
2nd and 4.
a little, maybe a little tender right now, because that was
Ball's
not a
directly
cut.
on the
He had a chance to
35-yard
kind
line
of
of
pop it there.
Stonington.
He couldn't really cut, whereas we saw Reef have no problems. So 2nd and 5 from the 35. Dive to Reef. Ball's up and down right at the marker. So Reef will come right down at the 30-yard line, which is going to put him just shy. I believe
Reef
it'll
on
be
the
3rd
carry,
and
initial hit by
maybe a couple feet.
We'll be calling Jack
Number 7.
Zero's name all night long on the
Brings up
stop
3rd
again.
and
Again,
short.
it's
Very
when
short,
you
less
get the
than a
back
yard.
getting into the second level through that offensive line, linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties are all going to make stop.
3rd and 1 from the 30. 3:20 remaining here in the period. Dive. Reef. First down. Crosses the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Over under on total passes in this game.
7.
I mean, in all
7.
seriousness, yeah. I mean, it's not
7.
It's not unusual. Big Logan Goins into the ball
Jackson
game
Hayes
for
on the
Stonington,
tackle.
try to provide a little.
This game will move very swiftly too.
Don't jinx me, sports doctor.
Ball's on the
1st and 10 from the
25.
25. Right on cue. Drybolt's to throw. Over the middle. Has his man Jackson. It's through his hands in the end zone. He was open. And the pass I thought was there. That's one Ben Jax would probably like back.
Yeah, good throw that time by Drybolts. Put it in the
Has
spot
intended
where his
for
receiver could
Jackson,
make a play on it,
complete.
and Jax just couldn't turn his body around and
2nd and 10.
corral it in.
Let's not forget that Killingly, despite liking to run the ball, has a quarterback that's probably as big and talented as any kid in the league, and
Ball's just
a
inside
Division
the
I
25-yard
sized tight end in
Mm.
Nate Keefe, and a guy like Jax. I mean, if they wanted to be a spread team and throw
Yeah,
it
they
all
could
over the
do it.
place, they could.
Yeah.
There's a very talented group of players here for Killingly. Stonington,
He likes to sprinkle the pass in. That's what he likes to do.
keep you honest, Stonington has to come up with another stop, dive, and a big play, hit, bounce, and a flag. Not much there. A nice job by Stonington coming in and hitting Reef right
Reef
as he
on the
made
carry.
contact. We'll
Face
see what the
mask
flag
or
is.
Hold.
Griffin on the tackle.
See the
Gain of
flag,
2,
and it's going to
3rd
be
and 8.
a chop block.
All right. Or chop block. face mask, hold, or a chop block.
Or a chop block.
Penalty on Killingly on that play, blocking below the waist.
So a blocking below the waist, which is what the technical term for it is. That's the chop block.
Yard penalty.
Well, we don't want to,
You know why you're engaged there.
We don't want to offend the New London basketball coach, So it's going to be third and 20. So my question to you is, you going to throw it, or are we going to go and try to get 15 back on the ground to make it fourth down manageable? We're backing them up even farther.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be second down and.
The penalty is 15 yards.
Second and 25 as
Third and 24.
Killingly's been backed up to no ank. So what are
down
they?
marker says second down.
It is now second down.
Yeah.
So it's second down and 25. What's your second and 25 play?
I'm going to hand it off to number 34 if he's in the game. But he's not in the game. So.
He is. 34 is the fullback, and 33
Yeah,
is the other.
okay.
So you keep thinking the quarterback's in the backfield,
Yeah,
but they actually go. They go under center.
Yes, I got it.
Driveholtz is going to throw. Plenty of time. Steps up toward the sideline, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Nate Keefe. Keefe was well covered by Luke Lowry, and that's going to bring up third and 24. But Driveholtz had time.
Yeah, time, but couldn't connect. And again, those are crossing patterns. Those receivers got to come all the way across the field. Driveholtz has got to set and make a throw. It's a tough throw. Again, you're talking about, a 30-yard out down to the sidelines.
He certainly had the arm strength.
Yeah. Well, you got to throw again on third down then if you throw on second down.
It would not surprise me to see them run the ball here, and then run it again, depending on where the yardage is. Believe it or not, but I also think that Killingly's got a pretty diverse playbook. We just don't see this a lot because they don't need to do it. So Driveholtz this time is going to go from the shotgun. He's going to throw. Plenty of time. Steps up, deep ball down the middle, has a man open, and it's off the hands of Noah Colangelo, who was wide open in the end zone. And what a unfortunate error by Killingly. That was a 6-point throw.
That was a perfect throw that time by Driveholtz. Perfect throw. Colangelo wants that one back, that's for sure. That was 6 points.
That was the best throw of the night. That ball was 50 yards on a dime, and Colangelo had 2 steps, no one there. But incomplete. Killingly will punt. Castagliolo will stand back at his own 10, awaiting the punt. And a flag is going to come down. Are we going to get a timeout? We're going to get a timeout, I believe. A.J. Massengale not happy. He's calling his Bears over.
He's been around a long time, too, hasn't he?
I remember when he was the new guy.
Yeah, he's been around a while.
Yeah, it's been absolutely. There's there's a group in the ECC who have been around, and Chad Neal's been around a long time, and AJ's been around a long time. You start going around to other places, and Johnny Burns has been there a few years now. They're starting to, we got new coaches in a few places. Bacon's relatively new. Waterford with a first-year head coach. Ledgerd with a new coach, so about half and half.
Rudy's been there a while, right?
Rudy's been there quite a while, sure.
Jason's been there. How long has Bakulis been there now? 4 or 5 years?
He's been there a little while now.
He's been there a few years,
Yeah, he and Johnny have, I think, 3 and 5.
All right, our mistake up here is looking at the marker. It's actually fourth down. I don't know why they're passing on fourth down.
So 4th and 24.
Castagliolo is back deep.
Castagliolo standing at his own 10.
Driveholtz to punt.
And the quarterback is the punter for Killingly, so that's always a possible wrinkle. Driveholtz will take it. Gets a high punt that's going to bounce well short of the 20 and take a beautiful Killingly bounce where it will go out of bounds, I believe, right at the 10-yard line. So beautiful punt by Driveholtz, and Stonington will take over 1st and 10 from their own 10 with 2:02 remaining in the first period and a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, last drive saw Stonington go 3 plays for a touchdown. You want a big 60-yard run, 56-yard run by the quarterback, and let's see if Killingly's made any adjustments and how they figure things out on the defensive end.
So last drive, it was snaps directly to Tedeschi and to Castagliolo. Those are the 2 in the backfield right now. It looks like Tedeschi's straight shotgun. Hands off to Castagliolo. Nothing there. Terrence Allen on the stop for Killingly, and loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the way Tedeschi comes right to the sidelines, gets the play for the coach, and heads into the huddle. I like that.
0 on the carry, no gain. Actually loss on the play.
Second down and 11. 1:30 remaining here in the first period. 7-0 Bears. Tedeschi in the shotgun. Hand off to Castagliolo. And he is brought down almost immediately. Keith Perry comes up.
Flags on the play.
Makes a stop. Going to get a flag.
Castagliolo on the carry.
We'll see what the flag is. It's going to be
Perry
a hold against Stonington. I know it's crazy, but I would consider declining this.
I don't think it's a bad call at all.
Otherwise, you're backing
third down and
third and 12.
3rd and 12 or 3rd and 2nd and
16. 16,
yeah.
right. I mean, you back him up half to the goal line.
Right.
And see, Chad Neal's a brilliant man.
He's so smart.
3rd and 11 inside the 10.
Dialed in with you.
So 3rd and 10 from the 10. Dangerous territory here for Stonington.
Let's go, Bears! Come on, Bears!
Tedeschi. Going to throw instead inside. Handoff, and ball's on the turf. That's a fumble. That's recovered by Killingly. And we have a Bear on the turf as well.
Tackle, injured player on the play. Blackman on the carry.
Colby Lopes with the recovery for Killingly.
It's Blackman because Blackman's down.
Now we have a timeout on the field, so this timeout brought to you by CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. Learn more at cracct.com, SERACCT.com. Also, everybody, come this winter, we want you to pay special attention and join us either live on game day or buy a ticket and head to the Mohegan Sun Arena, because the day and game day are proud to present the first day holiday classic at the Mohegan Sun Arena. It's a boys basketball doubleheader, and we got quite a double dip for you. The first one features Ledger. They got their new coach, DJ Exum. They got some new players, and they're going to be going up against the 2-time defending state champion Waterford Lancers at 6 o'clock. And then perennial power East Catholic. They've been maybe the best team in the state for the last 5 years against Donovan Klingen, the prohibitive state player of the year at Bristol Central. That's going to be at 8 o'clock. He's on his way to UConn, and that game should be well attended and well viewed. So join us on December 20th for the Day Holiday Classic. 1st and 10, Killingly. Ball at the Stonington 12-yard line after the fumble recovery by the Killingly defense.
Watch up, middle!
Toss left to Sharp. Sharp, big hole, heading towards the end zone. Untouched. Touchdown, Killingly. Jack Sharp. That was very easy.
Killingly on the carry.
Yeah,
Sharp,
tough turnover there by
touchdown,
Stonington, and no resistance by the defense there. Sharp took it off the left side. Like you said, he was untouched, and it's awfully hard. You know, it's going to make yourselves hard to give a team as good as Killingly a turnover at the 12-yard line and not expect to give a point.
So Drybolt's punts.
Yeah.
Drybolt's
Drybolt's
QBs. Drybolt's also will kick. Extra point attempt to tie the game. Good snap, good hold. And the hold got muffed. And
kick is blocked.
So the kick ends up getting blocked. Keith Perry couldn't quite handle the hold, and there's a uncharacteristic mistake by Killingly, and that keeps Stonington on top 7-6 with 48 seconds remaining. But I'm going to go out on a limb. That's not the last score of the game.
No, definitely not. No. You know, look at Stonington's had the ball 3 times, right? 2 of their drives, disastrous. The other drive was 3 plays, 85 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, they got to clean it up, that's all. And just be consistent.
The difference, Sports Doctor,
Mooney back
is
deep.
the first drive, disastrous, but it resulted in a punt.
Yes.
The last drive, disastrous, resulted in a turnover.
Yeah.
You know the great line, Mac Jones, which is everyone talks about, your guy.
He's my guy. Yeah.
Mac Jones says his goal is for every one of their possessions to end in a kick.
Drybolt's
Either an
kick
extra
off.
point
Right.
or punt.
Or a punt.
Because either is still better than the
Turnover,
alternative,
yes.
which is a turnover. So that's, I think, what Stonington needs to look at. Every one of their drives tonight needs to end in a kick, whether it's a punt or a kickoff or a kick, extra point. They cannot turn the ball over, and they certainly can't turn it over down on the goal line like they did there. That short field that's an impossible task to keep Killingly out of the end zone. Dreibholz will kick off from his own 40. Castagliolo is back deep. High spiraling kick comes down to Castagliolo. Straight up the middle. And he'll cross the 30, almost to the 35-yard line. So Matt Castagliolo with the nice return puts Stonington in good shape.
Castagliolo on the return, hit by Perry.
You got Ethan Mahoney limping
Brings
off
it
the
out
field
to the
for
33-yard
Stonington.
line. 1st and 10 Bears.
So Stonington's getting a little nicked up here.
Yep. And their speed guy is number 14, too, Josh Mooney. And talked about these extra wrinkles coming in. Maybe we can see him get in the mix a little bit.
So Mooney comes in, gives the play to Tedeschi. And Mooney's going to stand next to Tedeschi. That had been Castagliolo's spot. Now it's going to be Mooney.
Track kid.
Handoff to Mooney. Tries to go outside and nothing doing. Great job on the edge.
Mooney on a carry, thrown for a 5-yard loss.
Killingly tackled by Seth Dutzen.
Smith on the tackle.
Yeah, Dutzen out there, and Soren Reef going both ways too. 52 and 34 respectively.
2nd and 15. We're under 20 seconds here in the first period. And I'll be curious to see if Stonington runs a play.
2nd and 15.
I
don't think so. No. Yeah, quarterback says we'll take the quarter.
He'll take a 1-point lead going into the first period. So as the clock hits triple zeros, we're at the end of the first period. Your score: Stonington 7, Killingly 6. Come on back, second quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Stonington.
Start the conversation about mental health. Ask, "Are you okay?" Show you are listening by sitting alongside the person and by maintaining comfortable eye contact. Say, "I've noticed that." Explain behavior changes you've noticed and express genuine concern. Ask, "Do you want to take a walk?" Engaging in an activity together can be a great way to relieve nerves while talking. Ask, "How are you really?" Sometimes when someone says they're fine, they're not. Know the warning signs so you know when to offer extra support. To learn more, visit cracct.org.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
Steel Inc.
Smiling crowd
Thank
here
you,
at Stonington High
sponsors.
School. And, if your smile is important to you, you should think about Waterford Dental Health, where their entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized dental care you deserve. WaterfordDentalHealth.com.
2nd and 15 for the Bears.
2nd and 15, Tedeschi. Little touch pass to Zuro. Check that, to Shell. Scahill. Man, I'm going to tell you what. I need more glass. I need my glasses like you wouldn't believe. I'm getting old.
Scahill, number 8.
Scahill on the pass reception, actually.
Yeah, and again, the problem with that is
Castagliolo on the carry.
actually ran 20 yards and lost yardage because the play was strung out so much. He never turned to the field, and Killingly gets so good side to side. So I'd bring up 3rd down and 15. He ran forever. He got no yards.
3rd and 15. Let's see what the play here. Rolling. Keeper. Now he throws. Incomplete. Tedeschi was pressured and was looking again
Pass
for his
intended
receiver.
For number 8.
And incomplete it goes. And that'll be a punt situation now for Stonington.
Trade incomplete. 4th down Bears.
Killingly will get the ball in good field position here too. Right around on 45, maybe
Check
midfield.
that was 8 Scahill.
So Jax and Colangelo will be, like you said, at their
Jackson Colangelo
own
back
40-yard line, which is,
Mooney
you know.
to kick.
Yeah, either one of these guys can return a kick and are dangerous in the open field. Jacks especially.
Mooney standing at his own 20. High snap handled well by Mooney. Can't get his foot into it, though, so it takes a nice beneficial bounce for Stonington. And Mooney did a great job right there. He had to go up and get it, and so he couldn't take a step forward. He just punted it flat-footed.
Mooney's kick rolls dead on the 39-yard line. Check that.
Let's see what Killingly does here,
41.
Casey. Trailing 7-6. I mean, see if they throw the
First and 10
football, get back
Killingly.
into the run with Reef and Sharp and
They're on
reestablish
41.
the ground game a little bit and get running north and south.
I'm willing to bet you're going to see
Yeah,
a heavy dose of the RPO right
Yeah.
here.
And again, the luster of the game is worn off. We're a quarter in, and we're into something here.
Toss to Sharp. Big hole. Sharp will put his head down at the
8 yards.
almost midfield, and 8-yard gain on first down for Sharp, and Scahill comes off the pile, and that's a big gain on first down. It makes
on
Yep.
the
now
tackle.
we've seen in the
Killingly getting to get some kind of rhythm here too. They're going to get right to the line and call the play,
Gain of,
and they're not
long
allowing
eight.
Stonington to set up at all on the defensive side of the ball.
Now we've seen Killingly in the past,
Sharp on the
like
carry.
downs like this to take their shot to the tight
Second
end,
and 2.
but I don't think they've
No.
established the run enough yet. I think they want to get back into running the football. Quarterback keeper straight up the middle, first down. Dreibholtz got it, and he's all the way into Bears territory to the 45-yard line. The chains will move.
A lot of movement on that
Brzezinski
Bears
on the
front.
carry,
A lot of
on the
movement up,
tackle.
in the defensive line for
Quarterback
the Stonington Bears. A little confusion
Keeper,
maybe.
first down,
And Killingly is just kind of
on the
line up
Stonington
and
45-yard line.
pound.
First and 10.
No messing around. Killingly right up to the line. Toss to Sharp. Flag on the play. Big hole. Sharp to the outside. Sharp crosses the 30-yard line inside the 25 to the 22, but there is a flag in the area of holding on one of the wide receivers, if I had to make a guess.
Sharp on the carry. Penalty on the play.
I'm going to see what the official signal is. I'm going to guess holding against Killingly. No.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution.
Wow.
That flag came out at a very interesting
Penalty
time.
It came
So
on right here.
Yeah.
How could he see
Good.
that?
it's a big gain by
First and
Sharp.
10 Killingly.
So first and 10 Killingly. Ball at the
Inside
25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Where the flag came out and when the flag came out,
I thought it was either offsides, neutral zone, or you said holding by one of the wide
receivers, but
yeah.
no, that was that tells us how much I know. Dreibholtz on first down. Dive play to Reef. Tackled by Obrey. And it's a gain of maybe 2. Bring up second and
Reef
8.
on the carry. Initial hit by Obrey, number 80. Gain of 2, second and 8.
Gotta like Obrey's physicality and the defensive end position.
AJ Massengale rotating some bodies in and out of that defensive line too. So
Dreibholtz. Toss to Sharp. Cuts it straight back up the middle. Still on his feet. Breaks a tackle. And right at the first down marker, Jack Sharp. And depending on the spot, it will be a first down, and it is. It'll be a first down, move the chains. Killingly in business in the
Gain
red
of
zone
12.
again.
By Sharp.
that toss sweep, Casey, he is running 5, 6, 7 yards with a head of steam north and south.
I love that
Lowry
he
on
cuts
the
it back
tackle.
inside.
Mm.
Trips
First and
backfield
10
now, the
Killingly.
jumbo. Here's another toss to Sharp. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to be wrestled down inside the 10-yard line. Bears flying to the football, but
He's tough.
Sharp is tough to bring down. You certainly can't bring him down first contact. I love on the toss sweep, when everyone else looks to go outside, he gets
cuts
the
it
toss
back.
sweep and goes straight upfield with
Gain
it.
of 5 by Sharp. 0 on the tackle.
Because they're so wide on that toss sweep that he's already
Second and 5.
5 yards. He's almost to the
Right.
hash when he gets the ball, and he hits straight up the hash, which I think is,
Shortest distance between 2 points, straight line. He
full
takes the
house
straight
backfield
line,
again.
for
Oh, he
sure,
certainly
yeah.
does. Full house backfield again on second down. Dive, Reef. Ball
That
loose.
ball's out.
Ball loose. Stonington says they have it. Let's see what the officials say. Stonington's
Fumble on the
positive.
play.
They're pretty psyched. And yes, the Bears
Stonington recovered.
have recovered.
Roll pinch on the initial hit, causing the fumble.
So a big turnover by Killingly, matching the one that Stonington gave them earlier.
Yeah, big play there by the Stonington defense. Reef pretty sure-handed most of his career here. Killingly, Casey Kaufman up there, and Stonington catch a break. Their defense was getting gashed up front. They stood up, made a play. Offense is back on the field.
Now here's where the Stonington offense has to help their defense out in the shadow of their own goal line. Handoff. Castagliolo, and they're going to get him in the end zone for a safety, or they're going to say he got out? They're going to mark him at the 2.
Yeah, the line judge says it's a 2.
But this is what we're talking about. The offense has to do something here for Stonington because, A, you can't get a safety, and you can't punt deep out of your own end zone. They've got to try to get positive yards here. That was a
Castagliolo on the carry.
So now we're going to see Dorian White into the ball game for Stonington. We saw him in the passing league. We see him on the basketball court. Athletic kid, can throw the football. Let's see what White does here on second down in his own end zone. He's going to keep it. And almost busted it, but couldn't evade the tackle of Potapisky, and that's going to be a 3rd and long for Stonington.
Potapsky on the tackle, number 19.
Dorian White's going to stay in.
3rd and 8.
And give Potapsky a credit because that was a shoestring tackle of White, or else he had a lot of daylight out on the left edge for Stonington. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 8.
Throw the ball here?
I don't think they're going to. White pressured, does throw, and it's incomplete, almost intercepted. Colangelo was there. Good defense. They were looking for Scahill, and that means that Mooney is going to have to punt from the back of his own end zone.
Killingly defense responds after the offense coughed it up at the 10-yard line, Case, and again, they should get the ball back in really good field position. So Stonington dodged one on that drive, and then they have to get the ball right back to Killingly.
They have
outside of that one drive where they had the 3 plays for the touchdown, the offense has been really, really shut down by it.
How about Stonington has to take a timeout because the punter's not on the field? The punter's not on the field right now. Mooney's on the sidelines. And so Stonington, A.J. Maskell had to take a timeout. It's 4th and 8 from your own goal line, and Mooney's still on the sideline, and he still is now.
Maybe he's not punting.
That's it's interesting. So the Stonington's going to figure this out, but no one's running onto the field right now. So
Ray Guy? Is Ray Guy out there?
At halftime, T-Mobile will
Colin
make a
Starts
presentation
is heading
to
out.
Stonington
So my question is,
Athletics.
did Mooney do something on that last punt? Maybe, maybe that prohibits him from punting this time. Interesting. Jax and Colangelo are still deep, like you said, at their own 40-yard line. At the Bears' 40-yard line. And okay, we're going to have a new punter. Colin Starts into the ball game to punt for Stonington.
Jack's back deep.
So his first chance.
Jack's at his at the Stonington 35-yard line.
Good snap. And the punt is sideways and takes a Stonington bounce, but it's not going to reach the 20. It's going to get to the 15-yard line. And so Killingly is basically where they started.
So I would basically say that
ball's on the first 15-yard line, 1st and 10, Killingly.
5% of this game so far has been disastrous for Stonington. Outside of and they lead the game.
Yeah, the defense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the defense has played well. Bend not break on the defensive side of things. But right now, this is a tall order. First down, 15-yard line, 7:23 remaining. Toss right to Sharp, and the penalty.
That's false start. It's got to be.
Penalty on the play. Stops the play.
Offside, Stonington,
Stonington.
Offsides against Stonington. And they're trying to get those subs in, and they're not having much luck.
Bring up a 1st and 5 for Killingly.
Now, 1st and 5 for Killingly is going to...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. When you start shuffling, personnel on and off the field for substitutions and for rest or stuff like that, it can be it shouldn't be, but it is confusing right now for the Bears.
1st and 5, rather. Toss to Sharp. It was a nice job by the Stonington linebackers and defensive line making the tackle after a minimal gain for Sharp. It'll bring up 2nd down and we'll call it 4. 3 inside the 10.
Initial hit by Castagliolo.
Castagliolo was the
Carried by
first to
Sharp.
make the hit on Sharp.
Gain of 3. 2nd and 2.
How about on that play where it looks like Sharp gets nothing?
All right.
He gets 3. Tough to bring down.
Always moving forward, too. He's always, he's never retreating.
2nd down. Handoff, Reef, fullback dive. And he's hit almost immediately. Minimal gain. Starks was in on the hit along with Zuro. Yackley in there as well.
Reef on the carry.
3rd down
Initial
and
hit
1.
by
3rd and 1, but it's essentially
7,
two
Zuro.
downs to get a yard. Does Stonington
3rd and
sell
1.
out all the way? And that's the I mean,
Yeah, and if they do, they expose themselves a little bit, and you can pop one if you're Killingly.
toss to Sharp, cuts it back inside, touchdown. He is Sharp into the end zone. Killingly takes the lead. We're going to have a penalty flag as
Touchdown,
well
Killingly.
for a little extracurricular pop in the end
33,
zone,
Sharp.
and that'll be enforced
Penalty on the play.
after. It's going to be against Stonington. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike. Touchdown.
Tough to give
Touchdown.
Killingly numerous chances with a short field, whether it's off of a turnover or a shank punt. When you're asking
Personal
a team that
foul
can
on
go
Stonington.
80 yards at will on most teams, you're asking the team to go 12 yards.
Dry holds to try the extra point.
Dry bolts to try the extra point with
Surprised they're not going for 2 here.
6 minutes even. They might.
Yeah, they are.
Now
yeah.
they look like they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have the quarterback as your kicker. You can do a little bit of everything.
They're going for 2.
So the personal foul against Stonington is enforced, and it's going to be moving them to the essentially 1.5 yard line. So the 2-point chance for Killingly.
Killingly is going to try for 2.
Same formation that we just saw on the touchdown. 3 backs in the backfield. Toss to Sharp, and a big hit. Big hit in the backfield. Collins starts. Got in there and stopped it
Starts
before it
on
could
the
start.
tackle.
See what I just did right there?
Yes.
So no 2-point conversion, and that will keep the lead to 5,
That
12,
stops
7.
the Killingly team from the 2-point conversion. Score is Killingly 12, Stonington 7.
So 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. This is where I think this is what I'm going to call danger time for Stonington. We talked earlier.
6 minutes to the end of the half.
Killingly, this game is not the biggest game for them.
No.
They got. I mean,
No.
they're calm, cool, collected.
Right.
Stonington is almost to halftime, and they're in it.
They played the first quarter and a half in the lead
And they're
until that last year in the game, and
So if you can keep a little drive going,
you got to find something. You got to. I mean, you know what? You got to find some sort of a drive because, their scoring drive. Their one scoring drive was only 3 plays.
that's right.
It was a big 56-yard run, and it kind of caught Killingly off guard. But you've got to try to manufacture some sort of consistency going up and down the field. Get some first downs.
Well, here's the thing: if they go 3 and out,
McGugan back
Killingly is going to score again
Dry
before
holds
halftime.
Yes, they will.
Who gets the ball in the second half?
Killingly.
Gachi back
And
deep.
next thing you know, you could be looking
It's
at
a
like
28-7,
28-7,
yeah.
right? So Stonington right now needs to go into halftime no worse than 12-7. Obviously, if they can, mount a drive and score points, that's great. But they absolutely cannot have disaster, which is what has happened on multiple possessions.
Yep. And Dorian White taking some throws down there on the sidelines too.
Drive holds to kick, high end-over-end kick, taken by Castagliolo. No, take that. It's Tedeschi. Tedeschi with a nice run, crossing the 35-yard line. So good field position for Stonington as
Tedeschi on the return,
Lucian Tedeschi got it up
25 yards.
past the 30 to the
Ball
32.
down on the far side of the field. 1st and 10 Bears.
So first down, and White is going in at quarterback.
He's an athlete. He's a
32
heck of a
yard
basketball
line of the
player. We
Bears.
couldn't guard him in summer league. I know that.
Size, too.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Big kid.
Castagliolo will stand to his right. And now White says, nope, come over on my left. First down, Bears. Good snap, handoff to Castagliolo, and that's a lot of tough running to get a yard and a half.
Yeah, different formation that time for Stonington, a couple wide receivers, single back in the backfield.
Castagliolo on the carry.
Maybe they spread it out a little bit with White here. Maybe they throw it a little bit.
9.
Terrence Allen, the big lineman for Killingly on the stop. Call it 2nd and 7.
You got 4 wide receivers set here.
Twins both sides. White gonna throw. Has time. Out pattern, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Aubry.
Pass intended for Aubry, incomplete.
You know, and the thing with that, too, Casey, is Killingly's just coming after him up front, too. I mean, the pressure there.
White's pass to Aubry,
the defensive
incomplete.
line of Killingly,
Brings
big
up a
bodies
third
up
and a
front,
long 9.
trying to make White feel very uncomfortable. They have to throw in the run, make some plays.
I gotta think a good old-fashioned screen
Yeah.
would work with the amount of pressure Killingly's putting on right now. 3rd and 7. White to throw. Pressured straight up the middle. Rolls and just basically throws it away. He was pressured early by Nate
Late
Keefe,
flag.
and they're going to throw a late
Pass
flag.
incomplete.
I think that could be an intentional grounding. Because remember, in high school, you can't throw it away. So if they don't feel like there's a receiver in the vicinity, that's going to be intentional grounding. Otherwise, you could get it could be a late hitter, and we'll find out. Well, let's just wait for the officials. I've been guessing
You can
wrong
keep guessing.
all
You've
night.
been guessing for
I've been
7 years.
I've been guessing wrong all night tonight.
Yeah, you're right on.
Intentional grounding, yeah.
Intentional
So,
grounding.
for those of you watching going, but he was out of the
Loss
pocket
of down.
in high
Doesn't
school
matter,
football.
does not matter.
You cannot throw it away. There needs to be a receiver in the vicinity. So this is one of those examples where the rules of high school federation is different than college and the pros. In high school federation football, it does not matter if you're out of the pocket. You're not allowed to throw the
throw it
football
away,
away. You have to have a receiver in the vicinity, and now they're taking the flag up and
Penalties
picking it up,
picked up.
which makes me think they said there was a receiver in the vicinity.
Penalties declined or picked up. 4th down.
So that's a whole lot of nothing to get us to 4th down.
All right.
So Starts is back to punt.
Collins starts to kick.
First one was not his best. This one's a little bit better off the side of his foot. And Jax fields it at his own 45-yard line and hit immediately by Luke Lowry. But with 5 minutes remaining,
this
good field position. This is the danger zone I was talking
you
about.
talked about it.
45-yard line to
Stonington
Killingly.
got that
For
ball with
Killingly,
6
first
minutes to
and
go. No first downs. Took 59 seconds off the clock, and then they got to give it right back.
And they threw it twice.
Yeah.
So they didn't run, they could have probably taken it down to 3 minutes.
Yep.
But instead, they're going to have to hold one last time just to get to halftime. And this is where that old Patriot score before the half, get the ball in the second half.
Yeah, a little
they'll
double down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where Stonington has to be very, very careful. So, first down, Killingly at their own 45-yard line. Dreibholz, the junior. Handoff to Sharp. He's hitting the backfield. Wonderful job by the Bears defense. First on the spot was Jacob Yackley. Yackley got him in the backfield and allowed the remainder of the Bears to fly to the ball.
Yeah, Trevor Costa, 72 and 71, Yackley, and
Loss of 1.
72, and Trevor
Short
Costa
carry.
coming in to clean up the mess and
Second
and fired
11.
up, and maybe a play like that will get that defense cooking a little bit, Casey. You don't see Sharp tackled for a loss too many times. We've talked about this. He's usually 2 or 3 steps over the line of scrimmage before he gets hit.
Yeah, you
So
can't give him momentum.
Great penetration up front. Best penetration of the game by the Bears.
And that was the key last night to stopping Outlaw. Same thing. You got to get at his feet right off the rip. Dreibholz to throw. Has a man over the middle of the field, and he overthrows Jax at the 30-yard line. We have seen Dreibholz throw 3 times.
Pass
One was on the
intended for
money,
Jack,
and 2
incomplete.
were just slightly
Third and
overthrown.
11.
Twice to Jax, who hasn't been able to reel it in.
How do you slip Jax into the formation and get him free? Well, that's how you do it. He's a big kid. How do you sneak him anywhere in the field? But, again, well-designed play. The playoff. It starts with the play action. It starts with everybody biting up on Sharp. Jax runs out into the flat, and Drybolt's just missed him.
I mean, he was wide open.
Wide
and
open.
we haven't even called Nate Keefe's name yet on the offensive side. We know as a tight end, he's a big play guy too. So Killingly here, 3rd and 11. Reverse goes to Jax. Big hole. Jax breaks a tackle. Jax first down and more to the 40-yard line of the Bears. Big run. Ben Jax with a head of steam was tough to bring down.
Yeah, and everything, like I said, everything works off of either play action. Everybody's trying to come on up and take on the fullback and either Reef or Sharp, and Jax comes on the end around. And again, a nice job, Casey, like you said, cutting back. He doesn't have to string that all the way to the sidelines. He sees a lane, he cuts back, he turns it up, he gets about 17 yards.
And there was a Stonington defender, cornerback, who was probably about 60 pounds lighter than Jax, who was out there with a chance to try to.
No chance.
And there was no chance because Jax is going full head of steam, cutting straight up. So timeout for Stonington as they're going to talk things over. And again, they're going to try to stall this momentum with 4 minutes left. They've got to come up with a stop. And I don't know that there was a better opportunity than 3rd and 11. That's the final timeout for the Bears. And, they absolutely cannot give up points here.
No.
I don't know that you're going to get a better chance than 3rd and 11. But this, Killingly just wears on you.
That's a good term.
Big offensive line, big powerful backs, just getting beat up every time you touch the football. Hand off to Sharp. Breaks a tackle. Wrestled down after a gain of 7, but he crosses the 35-yard line to the 34. Costa finally brought him down, but I mean, how many times do I say Jax breaks Sharp breaks a tackle? Reef breaks a tackle.
Yep. Yeah, they're both tough kids to bring down.
2nd and 3.
2nd and 3, which means the whole playbook is in play right now for Killingly. Handoff inside. Reef will have the first down, and he's almost to the 25-yard line. He'll be down about the 26.
Sharp on the carry.
Chad Neal will keep an eye on the clock too, and he's the type of guy who'll run that play clock down. Take your time with the line of scrimmage. Be methodical. 3:23 left. 2 timeouts left.
Plenty of time. The question is just going to be, can Stonington hold them? And that's really all this is. I mean, the time is not an issue because 3 minutes and 2 timeouts is plenty. As a matter of fact, you're seeing Killingly taking their time.
Yeah, that's what they do.
This is because they're not going to give Stonington another possession.
Right.
They want to go into that. They want the double down. 1st and 10, 26-yard line of the Bears. Drive Holtz. Hands off. Sharp. Sharp bounces to the outside. Lowers the shoulder and big gain on first down. They're going to get him. I think he's going to be maybe a yard shy of the first down. That's going to be 9 on first down for Sharp. That 1-2 punch is awfully hard to deal with.
It's tough. It's tough. They show you the up-the-gut stuff. They show you the stretch play off the outside. It's a bit of a stretch play to the outside. Off that right side of the line of scrimmage.
Especially with that offensive line, too. I mean, that's
tough.
Big group of kids. 2.5 minutes remaining, 2nd and 2. Ball's at the 17-yard line. Killingly on the move again here at the end of the first half. Handoff. Again, this time it goes to Sharp off the left tackle. And Sharp across the 20.
Jack
Nassingale and Jack 0 in on the stop as well. Number 7.
It's going to move the chains, though, so it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball is going to be at the 17-yard line.
Jack Sharp with 106 yards in first half.
It's a pretty subtle 100-yard first half, too, isn't it?
Quiet.
Hard to believe, but he's getting 8 yards to carry, so. First down. Drive Holt's going to hand it off to Reef, keep it himself, and rolls. He'll be shy of the end zone, but nice job by Drive Holtz. I thought he gave it to Reef, but he decided to keep it himself. That time it's not an RPO, it's an RRO. It's a run option.
Yeah, that's right.
Which one of us is going to run?
Yeah, he comes off the edge. He sees the field very well, and like you said, he's a big kid. He's an athlete, and he does a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, and this is kind of what we talked about. Stonington's going to have to come up with something. So hard to keep Killingly out of the end zone when they get down this far, and then you get the ball in the second half. Handoff. And into the end zone goes Sharp for another touchdown. Killingly tacks it on with 119. They're up 18-7 here in the first half.
But it's a touchdown, Killingly.
Nothing fancy that time for number 33, Casey. Straight up the gut. And again, we talked about that, the 6-minute mark when Stonington had the ball. And, you know, they got a minute in and gave it up, and it was just under a 4-minute drive.
Killingly looks like they're going to go for 2 again, as they did not get it last time, up 18-7. The drive holds will be under center this time from the power I. Rolls, reverse, and Jax is going to be stopped up in the backfield. Starts was there.
Starts on the tackle.
And so one thing Stonington has done well is defend the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So it's 18-7. Killingly on top. And Stonington with no timeouts. I'd be shocked if they did anything but try to put this to bed. Go into halftime, lick their wounds, but you know they got to come out and play defense again in the second half.
18 straight points for Killingly. You know, and again, this is what Killingly does. I mean, this is no secret. This is no surprise. You know what they're going to do, and you got to stop them.
So Castagliolo and Tedeschi back for Stonington. They stand around the 12-yard line.
Castagliolo back deep. Dry holds to kick off.
You are watching Game Day live on theday.com, where Killingly's football team has an 18-7 lead over the Stonington Bears in a battle for the top spot in ECC Division 3. Killingly, who has state championship aspirations, has had a kind of a hit and miss couple of weeks with postponements of games. They're happy to get back on the field, and they're shaking the early rust off. Of course, it's a big sports weekend with the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Red Sox
football.
tonight.
Yeah, big weekend. Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, all in action over the weekend. It's going to come down, taken by Castagliolo. And we're going to get a stop at the 35-yard line. I thought it was a face mask, but they got Castagliolo at the 35. So 1:10 remaining here in the half.
Castagliolo on the carry.
See if Stonington wants to try to move the ball, or if they're going to be content running a few plays and heading into the half.
No, they got 1:10 left here. You know,
first and 10.
They're going to play it safe.
Touching the 35-yard line.
They can pop one, they can pop one.
Tedeschi back in at quarterback. First down. Keeps it himself. Straight up the middle. Nice gain of maybe 4.
Tedeschi on the carry.
Clock running, under 1 minute remaining here in the half.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
So we were wondering, Mooney, the punter, is in the concussion protocol, Josh Mooney, but also the second-string punter is also hurt. So right now, Stonington down to their third-string punter, which is why they have struggled.
Good numbers this year for Stonington. Almost 60 kids on the sidelines.
Direct snap to Castigliolo, and he'll gain about 3 more, and the clock now down under 30 seconds remaining here in the half. It'll be 3rd and short for Stonington.
Yeah, we've seen some of these Stonington teams in the past, show up with, 25, 30 kids, and really kind of struggle to be competitive. I mean, you got 60 kids. That's a good number.
3rd and 2.
Well, that was one of the things I talked with AJ Massengale about at practice.
Right.
That it's not just football this year. It's soccer. It's field hockey. Their teams are all successful, and there is a lot of just excitement at school this year around sports.
That's the end of the first half.
We are at halftime
Killingly
at
18,
Stonington High School.
7.
Killingly 18, Stonington 7. Come on back for halftime action and then second half action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
I go to the Marine Science Magnet High School over in Groton. Right after school, I get out about 1:40. I get right over here for practice.
Patrick, you know, we can definitely see his influence on the team when he's here. We talk about that sometimes, how you know, we would love to have his presence in school. You know, we do have some really strong senior leadership here with Jacob Yackley and Alex Castagliolo and Matt Castagliolo.
I grew up playing with Jacob Yackley, Alex Castag, Matt Castag, Lucian I played a couple years with, Gavin I've played a couple years with.
This senior group, they're a tight group. You know, they've been playing together for many years. They definitely, you know, their freshman and sophomore year here, we were struggling, and they were here for that, and they were having success though. You know, they were having success at the freshman and you know, JV sub-varsity level. They bring a positive energy to football practice and to our games, and that positivity is important. And really, it feeds off itself.
Here we go. Let's back it up. Back it up.
Oh, there's so much more excitement. With COVID last year, we didn't have access to this. This year, we got a full fan section. We got crowd showing up for every sport that we have, and it's amazing.
We have some special stuff going on here in terms of the atmosphere. Like the student section for our football games is unbelievable. I mean, the support of, you know, our boys and girls soccer programs, our field hockey team, and then it's reciprocal. Our guys are at their games supporting each other, and just a very positive feeling and making for a positive school year too. We saw these guys were this young group, now these seniors, when they were young. We could kind of see where they were headed. So we're definitely not surprised that they're having some success out there and doing some good things. But at the same time, a lot of these seniors, they set such a great example for these young guys that, you know, we want them to emulate that.
Back at Stonington High School, and a little dance action from the Stonington High School cheerleaders.
Let's give a round of applause for a great job for our cheerleaders.
So we are at halftime, 18-7. Stonington trails Killingly.
There's a special
I'll give you a break.
Presentation. T-Mobile is going to present a check to Stonington Athletics. I see Mr. Marone out there. Is that who it is?
14 minutes of halftime remaining here. Stonington trails 18-7. You're watching Game Day live on Day.com.
Ben Jacks is a sort of Swiss Army knife for Killingly.
I start receiver, kick returner, punt returner.
Starting safety, backup quarterback.
I'm a punt blockman if we're going for a punt block.
You name it. He's smart. I mean, he knows all the positions. He can go to any position and do that. I mean, he even played tailback as a freshman a little bit.
Jack's on the reverse. Gets to the edge.
He's kind of like our safety valve for all the other positions too, because he knows them all. I like him because he's like that throwback kid. He just likes to play sports. He knows all the old players. You know, him and Noah Colangelo were talking about, you know, punters that were backup quarterbacks like Jim Jensen, Tom Tupa. I'm like, how do you guys know this stuff? And they just pay attention to that stuff and do their research.
If you had to pick one position to play,
have to be receiver. Offense, I love my quarterback. I love being a receiver, and I've played it my whole life.
Receiver can be a tough position in Killingly's offense, featuring two bruising running backs in Jack Sharp and Soren Reef.
Block for them then. I mean, they're great running backs, and if I have to block for them, I'm so happy doing that. They're great running backs.
While Sharp and Reef might get the bulk of the touches, Jax has to be ready to be a playmaker at any time.
Well, you're right, it is different. And when you have it, there is a lot of pressure, so you kind of have to prepare yourself the whole game that you work yourself up to it. You know you have to do your goal, but one of your goals is being a playmaker. So you always have to keep that in mind that any time your number could be called.
He's a finesse guy. He is. And that's what's great about him is, you know, we need some guys like that. And we found that out a couple of years ago in the state final game. We, you know, when we go to different matchups and stuff.
Jacks, swing pass.
And that's one thing as a coaching staff we looked at. Where do we have to improve as a coaching staff? So when we go back to a state final or a matchup with a team like Weston,
Ben Jacks,
we have more guys like Ben on the field in those type of roles.
Huge pitch and catch that time, and a big play for Killingly.
Then there's going to throw a screen to Hill. Hill gets to the outside. Hill's down the sideline. Leo Griffin Hill, one man to beat, cuts it back, heading to the end zone, reaching, waiting for our signal. And he's going to be marked out at the 4-yard line from the shotgun. Low snap, Irizarry handles it, rolls right, pressured, and he is brought down and sacked all the way back at the 20-yard line. Jonah Eddy was the first to get there. In motion, Green, toss right to Green, has the edge, has the sideline, has the speed, dives for the pylon. Official signaled out just inside the 1. In motion, Green, handoff Crawford, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Colonels, Wyatt Crawford.
All right.
Second down, Irizarry, toss left, and great play by Wyatt Crawford. Irizarry on the handoff, Griffin Hill. Griffin Hill breaks a tackle, cuts inside, first down and more. Ball on the turf. They're going to say no, they're going to say he was down. The official is blowing him down. Bad snap again. This time, ball's on the turf still. It's loose, and the Colonels have it. Jonah Eddy on the recovery. In motion, Polton, toss left to him, trying to get inside, cuts it, first down and more. Jackson Polton crosses the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Low snap, ball's on the turf.
Safety.
And there's going to be the safety that we talked about. That one pegged. Safety for the Ledyard Colonels will make it.
Is that going to be a safety or a touchdown? I think it's a safety. I think that ball went out of bounds.
Yeah.
It is a safety. There you go.
Tips from CRAC to help you grow your mental wellness. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Avoid screen time and large meals before bed. Try new activities and meet new people. Find a career or volunteer for a cause that fits your values. Get outside and change your scenery. Challenge your mind through games, books, or activities. Stick to a weekly budget. Take time to process your emotions through meditation. And write down your thoughts in a journal to help organize your feelings. To learn more about how to improve your mental wellness, visit cracct.org.
Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe.
I believe that there's moments that really change your life. And the talent show is definitely one of those moments.
I'm not alone in this world. Seems like everybody out there wants to have a chance to be.
The talent show basically legit saved my life. I would have probably been in jail or probably be dead.
Put me back in my place, but I won't make it easy on them.
I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor.
I was addicted to alcohol, opiates, then it turned to heroin.
It's very taboo to be gay or to be trans.
And it's never been so clear that you got a place. Now show us your face and get up on that stage and let the world know.
We're not looking for sympathy, that's not what we're doing. We're looking to prove a point that arts can heal.
That space, that energy, that magic, that's already therapeutic in itself.
And that's what this New London Talent Show does. It allows young people to rip off labels that people put on them and come out of their own box or their own fears.
Look, know that you can do anything that you try to do with faith in the man above and power that's inside of you. They're trying to stop you, don't let them block you or lie to you. If you let them, then they're liable to silence you.
We could have been the stereotype. We could have been those people and fit the mold. The true measure of a person is how they respond to the negative things, how they respond to tragedy. And this is our response.
This place destroys fear, destroys it, and empowers young people.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, We have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
Back at halftime at Stonington High School, 18-7 Killingly on top of the Stonington Bears. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. And let's take a break for a minute from local high school sports and talk about the world of professional sports. We mentioned earlier, big weekend in Boston. You got the hockey season starting with the Bruins. You got the basketball season starting with the Celtics. New coach. You got the Patriots going to play the Cowboys. You've got the Red Sox about to start with the Astros tonight. So I asked
Saturday
you,
at 5:15, there'll be senior night
who is the
presentation
team
for the
that you
soccer
should be
team.
most excited about
At 5:30,
in
they'll
Boston
be
sports?
playing Montville in the ECC
I would say the Red
game.
Sox.
So
I mean, right now,
you have
geez,
a free
4 wins
evening
away
or
from going back to the World Series, first time since
early, late
2018.
afternoon,
And it's
5:15
I think it's a lot of high
You're
drama,
getting,
a lot of storylines in there. You know,
seniors
obviously
and their
Cora with the
parents to the
Astros.
fans.
And I think the Red Sox are the biggest thing to keep your eye on right now.
That's boys soccer.
What team wins the next championship in Boston sports?
Well, I predicted the Red Sox in the World Series yesterday, so I will say the Red Sox. The Patriots a long ways away. The Bruins, I'm not up into hockey like you guys are. And the Celtics, we'll see what they got.
So I'll bring in Peter Wappy for a second. I think the Bruins are a top
I'd like to remind
4
you again
team,
of our
top
sponsors.
5 team. What do you think, Peter Wappy?
Ginger's Car Wash,
I
Gas
think the
and Oil
Bruins
Service,
are great
Chelsea
in the
Groton Bank,
East, but there's
Powell, Lathrop, and Orkney, Inc.
Colorado, Vegas,
Stonington
out west.
Dental Associates.
I'm excited to see
Ear, nose, and throat of southeastern
Kraken.
Connecticut. That's ENT.
Oh, yeah.
Are you excited for the debut of the Kraken
Connecticut
in the
Community
NHL?
Credit
I'll give you
Union,
$1 if you could tell me what
IMT
city is hosting the
Realty,
Kraken.
and
I have
Stonington
no
Steel
idea.
Kraken
Inc.
is the new hockey team.
Are they really?
Yes. Where are they located?
I don't even know. Las Vegas is the last team I knew.
Okay, they are
And
in
then
Seattle.
They
They are in
Seattle. Okay, there you go.
Seattle Kraken.
They have a hockey team in Seattle.
They do.
Okay, all right.
Now, Peter
Yeah.
Wappy, are you excited about Swayman in the pipes for the Bruins, or are you counting the days until Tuukka Rask is back?
I would say I'm counting the days until Tuukka comes back. Swayman looked good in spots last year. It just makes me nervous bringing someone else in.
The stat or the story that was given to me by Jack Edwards was that Swayman has never entered a season since Pee Wee hockey as the starter.
Yeah.
He has always taken the job either in the preseason or right after the season started. So he's never. That speaks of a guy who's never been a star, though, because you'd be the starting goalie. Speaking of stars, were you surprised to see Studnicka start down in the AHL? And if so, when do you think you like him coming up, or is Charlie Coyle your guy on the second line?
I'm a big Charlie Coyle fan. That said, it's always exciting. Sports doctors super
Lost.
We got some hockey talk.
Yeah,
here.
lost right now.
So I can remember going to a Wolfpack game and seeing Pasternak playing for Providence. And watching, like, you're watching these, AAA equivalent hockey players, and it was obvious. Like, you watch these other guys, and they all have like one deficiency. They'll be like, this one guy who's a real skill guy, but he's just like too small and he's never going to make it in the show. Or there's one guy that's big and he's got the size, but like isn't quite fast enough or doesn't have the stick skills. Pasternak, you watched him and it was obvious that he was going to be a star coming up. So if there's a parallel there, then I'm excited to see him come up, but love Charlie Coyle.
I watched Studnicka in the preseason, and he looks NHL ready. So it's a nice thing to have. Earlier we were talking off air about Las Vegas, and we had a conversation, you and I.
Yeah.
And Peter said that there was a good 5 minutes of that conversation.
He had no
like
idea.
We were talking
No,
another
yeah,
language.
it just got me back.
That was the
I'll
hockey
ask you, how about Sunday? How about the Patriots against the Cowboys? Obviously Dallas is loaded. I mean, offensively could be one of the best teams in the NFC. A lot of weapons on, receivers, a couple good backs. Prescott's playing pretty well. I don't like the coach. I never really have, like Mike McCarthy. But do they come to New England and they kind of push them around? Or does Bill Belichick find a way to slow that down too?
I think the realization is going to come to New England pretty quickly that they're just not that good. It doesn't mean they can't win games. They're just not that good. They're very limited offensively in what they're going to do. The defense is solid, but it's not full of stars.
Right.
So I think, you're going to be looking, when you see an elite team.
Is Dallas an elite team?
I think they
Offensively,
are. I think they are. Their defense is much better. Diggs is a really good corner. And I think that you're going to see New England struggle against elite teams. They're going to have to win the games they can against the middle of the pack teams. So
against the Houstons and the Jets, teams like that.
They got to win those games. So a little quick story to echo what Peter was talking about when he went and saw Pasternak play. Back in the 80s, back like in 1984, I went to Pawtucket to see a doubleheader between the Tidewater Tides of the New York Mets organization and the Pawtucket Red Sox. I saw first game was Walt Terrell versus Oil Can Boyd.
Dennis Oil Can Boyd, yes.
So we saw some really good guys, and the Mets had a young right fielder who we got to see play, who went 6 for 8 in the doubleheader with 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and about 12 RBIs. Guy named Darryl Strawberry. So Peter, to your point, by like the third at bat, we went, okay, he doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
like, what's this guy doing here? Yeah. And of course, Strawberry went on to a crazy career. So it was, sometimes there are players that stand out above the rest. Speaking of players that stand out above the rest, we're going to switch to the Celtics for a second.
Yeah.
Is this the year that Jason Tatum becomes a top 10 player in the NBA?
You would think it has to be. Kemba Walker's cleared out of there. I think Kemba took away from whatever Tatum was trying to develop, or Jaylen Brown, and what is this, his 5th year in the league now?
Yep.
I believe it's his 5th year. Yeah, he needs to do that right now. If he wants to be Paul Pierce-esque, and take that next step into Celtic lore, I would think this is probably the year. They got a new coach in there. Obviously, I think last couple of years they tuned out Brad Stevens totally. You would agree with that?
I would.
And I'm not saying Brad's a bad coach.
Nope.
But I think they tuned him out. So they kept him in the organization. So maybe they got a players coach in there. I think this is the year that Tatum has got to go for 24 a night.
To be clear, in the NBA above almost any other league, it is the biggest players league.
Yeah.
The only coaches there's only one Popovich.
Yes.
Every other team is run by a coach that allows the superstar to. Why is Ty Lue a coach that people look for?
He does whatever they want.
Because he lets the superstar run the team. So the reality is that after a while,
Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, guys like that. Yeah.
Those guys have some respect, but the reality is that Giannis pretty much runs the Milwaukee Bucks.
Without a doubt, yeah.
The coaches can get involved. So this guy, I think, if anything, he's going to want to instill. I think defense is going to be his thing. They're going to want to play a little more toughness.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't think they can win. So to your question, I think, believe it or not, I think the Red Sox are the closest because they're in the second round of the playoffs. But I think your next championship is
comes in the Celtics.
Hockey is your next championship in Boston. Yeah, I really think so.
Basketball's tough, man.
Yep.
Basketball is tough. You got to be stockpiled with talent, and like you said, you've got to have not 2. You're going to have 4 or 5 of these guys, or at least 4 of them.
Well, that's why Milwaukee is such a strange bird, and that's a testament to Giannis because Chris Middleton has emerged as a big-time player. Drew Holiday's a big-time player, but they're not in the number. They're not the 2-3 guys that you're. I mean, they're not Durant, Harden, and Buffoon Boy.
Yeah,
in New Jersey.
that's something too down there. I mean, that's a disgrace. I just he is. Listen, he should be thanking LeBron James for his ring from now 100%. Until the rest of his life, because he obviously didn't fit in with the Celtics, and he goes down there and let's bring in KD and let's bring in Harden and let's do all this stuff and all this grandstanding and stuff like that. I mean, I just haven't had enough of him. So
I think most people would like him to just go away.
Yeah.
And so they can focus on other things.
The second half kickoff.
But we're not going away because it's time for second half action here at Stonington High School. Killingly will get the football. They're already on top 18-7. 206-73, Sports Doctor. A big advantage for Killingly.
And it's 73 yards all came on the one positive drive they had.
So we're going to see what did A.J. Massengale draw up at halftime, and how can they change? Unfortunately,
They're a little undermanned, too.
I think the only thing they can do differently is sell out even more, and then you're going to see it's just a question of can they sell it out the right times, because Drybolt's had receivers every time he went to throw the ball. So I'm going to make it's not a very bold prediction. I'm going to say that Drybolt's throws 2 touchdown passes in the second half.
I don't think he throws the ball more than 4 times in the second half.
All right.
So, I mean.
Well, he already eclipsed your over-under passes. I mean, it's more passes. It was an air show in the first half compared to what we thought. Bears kicking off right to left on your screen. And, of course, with Mooney.
Ferreira to kick off.
So the kicker will be Nick Ferreira. Always like when the linemen kick off. And that is essentially an onside kick. Hits a Killingly player, and Killingly will have
onside
great field
recovered
position.
By number 59 for Killingly.
Recovered by Killingly's 52. That is Seth Dutzen.
Check that 52, Dutzen.
So Killingly will have great field position, but I mean that's another storyline. Stonington down 2 kickers.
Yeah.
Not one.
They're down some bodies.
Not one kicker.
Killingly on
2 kickers.
their own 47-yard line.
So Killingly in great field position to open the second half. And they want to go right down the field and then put Stonington in a real bind at that point. Reef and Sharp. Sharp over 100 yards already in the first half. Toss left to Sharp. Huge hole. And he's got 6 before Lowry gets a helmet on him. And
you know, you talk about selling out on the run, too, and building up on the line of scrimmage. You really leave yourself exposed on the back end. So if your frontline guys, even your second-level guys, don't make a tackle, you're going to see some big runs in the second half.
I mean, that was just
that was
6 yards before a helmet got on.
Yeah.
You know, Stonington might just be worn out, too. I mean, that's a lot to process. Handoff again to Sharp off left tackle, and he'll have the first down. Across the 45-yard line to the 43.
That ball was out. Stonington said they got the football.
Oh, we got to see what the officials. I don't see the officials saying so, though.
No, I see he's down, yeah.
They're marking it.
Ball came out, but it was already down.
All right, so you're going to take the officials' word more than the Stonington players?
I am.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I am.
That's fine.
Only because the officials make
First
rules.
and 10, Killingly.
Players might be right. I had that argument with a kid once. He goes, my school says I've missed 20 days, but I turned in a note. I said, well, you better turn in another one because the school said you missed 20 days. So you got to, I mean.
Epstein's mother.
Doesn't matter if you're right or not. You know, you got to go fix that.
Okay.
Officials are the guys that make those rules. Or actually, they don't. They enforce
they
those
enforce the rules. The rules are chaos.
First and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. Killingly with their first possession of the second half. Handoff to Reef on the dive, and nice 6-yard gain on first down by Soren Reef. Methodical.
Reef on the carry.
And very difficult to stop.
Yeah.
And I think Chad Neal, and that's something if you end up talking to him after the game. I'd love to hear about the, all the weapons.
On the stop.
Staying true and staying in rhythm with the running game.
5, second and 5.
Yeah. Well, how do you keep everybody happy, too?
Yeah, I mean, how do you? Got a quarterback that I think the quarterback would throw it 30 times if he was at another school. Second down, handoff. Sharp breaks a tackle. First down and more to the 30-yard line. And right now it's chunks and games for the Killingly football team.
Power stretch play, the power stretch off the left side. And Sharp is just shooting himself out of a cannon.
Don't you love teams that you don't even need to watch film? You can. I could have told you right ahead of time what are the 5 plays we're going to see most tonight. Right. But defending it is a whole other thing.
Yep. Stretch play, a little dive play. Jacks on the end around.
That wrinkle was a huge play because that was 3rd and long, and that
third and 11.
That was set him up. Best chance Stonington had to stop him there before the first half. Here comes the wide set, pro set. Hand off to Reef. Reef will be short of the first down. He'll bring up 2nd and
Reef on the
2
carry.
or 3, 4, 5.
Gain of 5. Start by number 15.
But I mean, does it seem like? Remember when Stonington shot the gap and got into the backfield? It's been a while. Right now, we're getting pushed around right now. And this is where Killingly's experience comes into play.
Yeah.
They know how to finish.
2nd and 5.
It's 71 and big 72 up there, and Yackley and Costa. And
another handoff to Sharp. Sharp breaks a tackle. One more guy to beat, and he beats him. Heads to the end zone. Touchdown, Killingly. Jack Sharp with a big individual effort, breaking 4 and 5 tackles, showing speed. And the Killingly football team now 24-7.
A 16-yard run that time by Sharp, and Stonington's tired, man. They are tired. Is that your double down?
I might not see pass after all.
No.
Dryholtz with the extra point. They'll eschew the 2-point conversion attempt. This time the snap and the hold is good, and the kick is drilled through by Dryholtz. 20.
Extra point is good. Killingly 25.
5-7. Remember the 7-point lead?
Yeah,
Stonington
7-0. Yeah, and 25 straight. And it's not a mystery. It's what Killingly does. They run the football. They play sound and discipline. They wear you out up front. 149 yards and 4 touchdowns for Jack Sharp.
Just another day at the office.
Yeah, I mean it's ho hum. I hate to say it. It doesn't. It's not sexy. It's workmanlike, but it's very effective. The thing that makes Killingly, Casey, I'm sorry, successful when they leave the ECC too, is because of their discipline. They run their stuff, and that's why they've been able to win a state championship. That's why they've, been to a semifinal game. That's why I've been to a couple of state championships. They're very, very. It's precision football.
And what's interesting is they haven't been A+ tonight.
No.
They've dropped touchdown passes. They've had fumbles. I mean, it has not been a perfect night by any stretch of the imagination. But they're just right back to it,
right?
All over again. So Dryholtz will kick off from his own 40-yard line. Castagliolo back deep with Tedeschi. Big kick goes into the end zone. When do you see it? We haven't seen that in a few years.
No.
We saw it Waterford, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw, I'm trying to think of the kickers we saw that banged through the end zone. What was the kid in Waterford?
Spencer Hoagland,
Hoagland, Sam Menders, but we don't see many kicks into the end zone. So Stonington will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. 8:55 remaining here in
Spencer
third
Hoagland went on to play football at WPI.
Worcester Polytechnic.
Yeah, I did a Coast Guard game up there, and he was up there doing some kicking, and he had a leg on him.
Yes, he did.
He kick.
1st and 10 Bears from the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 Bears. Tedeschi is in at quarterback. On 1st down. High snap goes directly to Castagliolo, and he is ball on the turf, and he's on the turf. He was popped that time. Keith Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Perry, again, one of those linebackers, number 44, junior. Coming up through the system. You can see him at fullback next year,
Yeah, he might be the guy.
Yeah,
he might be the guy sitting in front of Reef.
Yeah. Yep.
2nd and 9. Tedeschi back in the quarterback spot again from the shotgun. Going to keep it himself. Little stutter step, and great job by the interior of the Killingly football team. Not much there.
Is there a point in this game we've seen in the past where AJ just kind of keeps his guys healthy and safe?
Yeah.
Right? Are we approaching that?
Tedeschi on the carry.
One more score.
Gain of 3.
Yeah. We're just going to kind of.
Yeah, one more score. The JV might go into the game.
Yeah.
This is, I give Stonington credit. I mean, they stood there, and they're. But this Killingly team is a lot to handle. 3rd and 6. Hard count. We got a little bit of movement.
Entire left side of
It's who got who
flinched
here.
first, yeah. It's against Stonington.
That's 3rd and 6, back to 3rd and 11, which changes things dramatically for the Bears.
Legal motion by the Mayor's line, 5-yard penalty. 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11, ball now at the 25-yard line. Clock running, 7:30 remaining here in the third period. Killingly on top, 25-7. Shotgun snap. Tedeschi rolls, going to keep it himself, trying to get to the edge. Chased, and Perry rides him out of bounds.
Perry's quick. He is a junior, and he can scoot sideline to sideline, middle linebacker position.
4th and 5.
The thing about Killingly, too, is it's tough to beat them on the edge because they move so well side to side.
Yeah, they do, and their pursuit that time was excellent. He got back the 5-yard of penalty, but they're going to punt it away. So we'll get Starts into punt. Jax and Mahoney back for, Jax and Colangelo back for Killingly. So Starts will punt it away. Good snap. Best kick of the night by Starts. Bangs it over Jax's head, and it takes a favorable bounce for Stonington. That's a great punt that time.
Yeah, good kick.
Best one of the night by Colin Starts, who was thrown into action with an injury to Mooney. And that's a nice punt right there. Killingly will start at their own 33-yard line. Sharp on his way to a 200-yard game.
4 touchdowns on the night. Jack Sharp, Spencer Lockwood, who's the other kid, Austin Cafferty.
Yeah.
No, they've had some good ones here.
They have gone back to back. They just keep funneling the backs in. I mean, we remember when Sharp was a freshman.
Yeah.
We saw action as a freshman, sophomore. Hard to believe, how far back we go. I was
timeout.
Saying the last time we came here to do a game, the great Spencer Lockwood returned to the opening kickoff 100 yards, and none of us were here to broadcast it. There was a big accident on 95. I was running through the parking lot. I was about where the bear is, when I turned to my son. I said, "Don't worry, we'll get there in time for it." And then Lockwood just went off for a touchdown. So I was over by the bear, and I'm first of all, I was trying to run from the parking lot.
Yeah.
I made it as far as the bear.
That
was it.
Yeah,
that was it. So
I was down by Stonington Pizza Palace, I think, on Route 1.
And Peter Wappy, where were you?
Yeah,
1st and 10 Killingly.
You were here, Pete.
No, Peter wasn't here yet.
No,
you were out, right?
I was off. That was
Carlos was here.
That was a Tim Cook production.
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook.
Eric might have been here helping them.
Toss left to Sharp. Big hole. Tough run. Falls near the first down marker. Max
Sharp
Miguel
on
on the
200
stop.
yards today, 160 and change right now.
So Peter, the one game you're not here, there's an accident on 95. You got no production. You got no announcers, and I believe I recreated the call because we had film. We were filming, but there was no broadcasters. So I came on and I did the call.
Yeah.
Even though it had already happened.
Yeah, you may be right. I believe there was a full moon that night as well.
I don't doubt that for 1 second. Handoff, Sharp, first down, crosses the 45 and almost to midfield.
Sharp on the
That'll
carry,
move the
McGugan
chains.
on the hit. 1st down, Killingly.
McGugan on the tackle for Stonington. Clock down.
1st and 10 on their own 48 for Killingly.
6:20 and running. Next week, we're going to have a local rivalry game for you. And we might be down in southeastern Connecticut, Waterford, New London, perhaps. We'll see. Throw over the middle for Jax, and it's reeled in at the 25-yard line. Dreibholtz put it on the money, and that time Ben Jax made the toughest catch of the 3 that he had tonight.
Yeah, he reached back behind his body, looked back, corralled it in to Jax. That'd be the last throw you see tonight from Killingly. I think they just want to hook up and see if they can get a connection.
Dreibholtz can throw the
football.
football.
He can throw the football.
By the way,
and
Jax,
First and 10
junior,
near the 25-yard line.
Colangelo, junior, Drypoltz, junior, Reese,
sophomore.
Yeah. By the lines, some of the line guys, sophomores, juniors. Oh boy, it ain't bare yet. Handoff. That's a nice play on the edge. They got Sharp for a loss that time.
Yeah, nice job up front again by number 71. There's Stonington. He's played a good game.
Trevor Costa.
Yeah, he's played well. He's played well.
So we're not seeing them throw the ball much, but this was something that Chad Neal talked about at practice when Mike and I were talking to him this week.
An initial hit, aided by the rest of the
He
line.
knows what he's got with his running backs.
Sharp on the carry,
and
1 yard
everybody
gain.
else in the
Second
state
and
knows
long
what he's
now.
got coming out of the backfield. And one thing he said is guys like Ben Jax are going to be key for him going into the state playoffs because they got exposed a little bit against Weston in the finals. Because you play against another state powerhouse, they're going to be able to try to take away the run, and you need those speed guys around the edges. You need a big target to throw to keep the other team honest.
He doesn't like to show it a lot though in the games, though. You know, that's his thing. Is probably because he doesn't have to. You know, so. But I guess throwing the ball 7 or 8 times to keep the guys a little bit hungry out there and keep timing of the plays.
Well, Peter, you go back a ways. You know, for us doing Killingly all the way back to the Lockwoods and the Caffreys and stuff. You know, I think it goes back to the Caffrey times when we saw Killingly this able to throw the ball. I think if Killingly were down in a game at the state level and had to throw it, I think they could do it. I think Drypoltz has a great arm, and I think he's got some weapons. Here's a toss to Sharp, cuts it back towards the middle of the field, and going to have another gain of 6 or 7 yards. I mean, you know, we don't think of it that way, but to Peter's point, on the state level, I think Killingly could move the ball through the air. Jackson, Colangelo, we've seen run routes. And again, they haven't thrown it to Nate Keefe. That's a big tight end. And so I think if Killingly found themselves down, 2 scores and had to throw the ball to get back in it, I think they could.
You got to remember, this is a top 10 team in the state right now, and they've got they've got aspirations beyond winning the ECC.
Toss left to Sharp, and nice tackle on the edge, but Sharp will have close to a first down. Flag comes in.
Face mask, maybe.
Turo on the tackle.
So
why do we guess? Why do
I'm not guessing?
Why do you and I feel? I mean, me especially, feel need to guess every single play.
I think what becomes an interesting matchup. I think So we've done Fitch. We've done Ledyard.
Yeah, Waterford.
We've done NFA.
Yeah.
All right. The most impressive team we've seen this year is Darien.
Number 1 in the state.
But Killingly's the most impressive team we've seen in the ECC. Next week, Ledyard and Stonington is a very interesting matchup because can Stonington, remember I said last night that Ledyard gets Stonington the week after Killingly. Stonington might be a little beat up next week when they play Ledyard. Ledyard might get a break playing them in that week. Because Ledyard's undefeated looking for our state aspirations.
Boy, I tell you what, that's a great matchup.
1st and 10, ball at the 6-yard line. Pass in the flat, batted down, and there was the poor Nate Keefe finally was going to get a target. They had knocked down as Drypoltz throws incomplete. McGugan knocked it down. So we have a couple interesting games next week. New London, Waterford.
Yeah.
I think that just to see the Danette Elsie matchup on the edge, or the Bonneau Elsie matchup, the lockdown corner against the dynamic receiver. That'll be fun. Stonington trying to come back against Ledyard will be a good one. Toss left to Sharp, and a nice job on the edge, stepping up, making the tackle was the Bears. Out wide, I believe Massengale got there first and turned it back inside.
The carry stopped by Costa.
Costa, of course.
Has to stop, yeah.
No gain, short loss.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 from the 6.
I'm calling his number. You're calling his name all night, Trevor Costa.
Yeah, he's played great. I mean,
he's played a good game.
You're gonna call linebackers names a lot and secondary guys names a lot against Killingly because those, they're making the tackles.
Yeah, Jack Zero, he's had his mitts on a few Killingly running backs and plays out there, and he made some stops.
3rd and goal from the 6. Drypoltz wants to throw over the middle and had Keefe, but it was incomplete. Defended by Lowry. Also in there was Will French, and that's going to bring up 4th and 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw.
fastball there when you need a little touch pass.
Now here's the thing: dry bolts has the leg. You kick a field goal here, or do you go for it on fourth and goal?
Go for it on fourth down.
You don't want to
field goal doesn't do anything good.
You don't want to practice field goal.
No, we practice extra points all night. The same thing.
I finally got one.
Fourth down.
So it will be 4th and 6, or 4th and goal from the 6.
Probably only 3 or 4 possessions left in this game.
And Drive Holtz and the Killingly football team will go for here on 4th down. It's going to be a handoff, end around. Now he's going to keep it and throw. Pressured, throws it in the back of the end zone and out of bounds. Credit Trevor Costa for putting the pressure because I was deked twice.
Yeah, a lot of chicanery on that play, I guess you would call it, right?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, all right. Little sprint rollout with a fake reverse, and then nothing going on because Stonington didn't bite.
Peter, would you suggest that Killingly was resorting to subterfuge on that play?
Those are big Keith O'Brien words. You're going to have to help me out with those.
Chicanery or?
Subterfuge.
What's that?
Deception.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So, yes, they did the fake handoff and then the fake end around. Both of which they've run. Both of which they've run tonight.
Sprint rollout. Everything. You saw everything on that.
Costa said, "I'm just going to go get the quarterback." French on the carry for Stonington and nothing there. Loss on the play. Bring up second
French
12.
on the carry, tackled by number 34.
Lowry's down on the field, so we're going to have a timeout. And this timeout is brought to you by CRAC.
Reef, injured player on the play.
CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. You can learn more at CRACCT.com, SERACCT.com. And as always, Waterford Dental Health game day. Thank you to Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is their top priority. Their entire team dedicated to providing you the personalized, gentle care that you deserve. You can visit them at waterforddentalhealth.com or just drive on down to 177 Boston Post Road in Waterford. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien. 2:43 remaining in the third period. 25-7 Killingly.
I will say this, a little off topic. This was probably one of the nicest weather weeks of the year. It has nothing to do with anything, but just to talk about.
And I didn't play golf once.
What it's like. No, I did not either. Actually, I did. I played Stonington.
Nice.
On Tuesday, I played a tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stonington Country Club. We finished 2 under.
Nice. All right.
No. It was scramble format. So it's not very good.
Well, that's okay. But you're not a good golfer, so.
No, I mean neither were the guys I played with either. So it was a lot of fun. It was for a good cause, and I will say this: that course is in pristine shape. Over on Talk.
No one plays it.
No one plays it. No one plays it.
I mean, I've heard
I think they have 15,000 rounds a year.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
I've heard a lot of people say that if they lived on that side of the bridge, that's the place they'd go because no one plays it.
How many rounds do you think I played at Great Neck a year?
Oh,
I mean,
more.
Yeah. So when the guy tells you, I mean, there's 15,000 rounds played in Norwich in a week. You know what I'm saying? It's no play. The greens are awesome. The fairways are plush. I mean, it's a tough course too. It's not Elmridge. No, it's not Pequot.
No,
or something like that. It's a good golf course. I haven't played there since I was with Pick and Spicks when he was a member over there.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring me over there and
a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, we played over there.
Shot 63.
That's right.
Had 1 or 2 in the clubhouse afterwards.
That was a good round. I enjoyed that. 2nd and 12 here for Stonington in the shadow of their own end zone, 8-yard line. Tedeschi's going to throw over the middle and has a man, and it looks like it's incomplete.
Yep.
Official saying no, it hit the ground. And
incomplete pass.
He was looking for Aubry. Good throw that time, but incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 12. I still think Killingly's got one more score in them, which means that if Stonington punts it away, I think Killingly's still going to look to pop one last score.
Right.
And then you're going to see the rosters empty onto the field. French will be on the on the right side now of Tedeschi. Shotgun. That's a long throw on the screen, complete. That pass was out to Josiah Blackman, and that was a bullet, by the way, that Tedeschi threw that time.
He's been a gamer. He's been a gamer all night. He's taken a few lumps. He's taking a little bit of beating out there.
4th and 6.
Played well.
4th and 6. Starts will come back on to punt.
Starts back to kick.
Jax and Colangelo will stand back at the Stonington 45-yard line, so it should be great field position again for Killingly.
And Colangelo back deep.
I will say this, too. There's been no quitting in Stonington tonight.
Not at all.
No.
Jax catches it at the 45-yard line, heads down the left sideline, tripped up as he crosses the 35-yard line. So great field position for Killingly. You know what I like about the Killingly return guys? They catch the ball in the air. That's multiple punts they've caught in the air.
We've been complaining all year long that nobody catches a punt.
I mean, why have a punt guy out there if they're just going to let it bounce?
Tripped up by number 26.
Anybody can do that.
I'm still one of those guys, too, that watches the NFL and major college football, and guys don't put their feet at the 10-yard line anymore. They get on and fair catch the ball at the 5. What are you doing? Let it bounce. Let it roll in. It gets down to the 1. It gets down to the 1. But
hand off to Sharp, and he's dragging Stonington Bears for 7 yards.
Does that drive you nuts, or is that me? You ever notice in a professional game they don't fair catch the ball
at the 6-yard line?
Yeah.
No, it does.
And why?
I think the answer is because the special teams have become so good. They're given keys, and if there are guys there, it's better to fair catch it at the 6 than let it bounce but I disagree.
And nobody goes to the coffin corner anymore. They want to deaden the ball at the 2-yard line.
Dying art.
No.
And now you let the ball spin.
Yeah.
Sharp again, straight up the middle. He'll have a gain of 3 or 4 right at the first down marker. I think it's enough to move the chains. It is, as we're down under a minute here in the third period.
Is a good punter still a dangerous weapon?
Sharp on the carry.
Listen, you could argue that the best player on the Patriots over the past few years was the punter.
First down.
Cowboys benefited from a great punter as well.
On the 25 of Stonington.
I'm torn about who I want to see lose that game by more. First and 10, 40 seconds. This time the handoff goes to Reef, and no quit in the Bears. Tackle, short gain.
Sharp on the carry.
21 seconds remaining, and so Killingly will have a chance to get one more playoff before the end of the third period if they choose to. I'm not sure they're going to.
2nd and 9.
Now they're going to head to the sideline. So as the clock ticks to the end of the third period, 25-7, Killingly on top of Stonington. We will be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Tips from CRAC to help you grow your mental wellness. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Avoid screen time and large meals before bed. Try new activities and meet new people. Find a career or volunteer for a cause that fits your values. Get outside and change your scenery. Challenge your mind through games, books, or activities. Stick to a weekly budget. Take time to process your emotions through meditation. And write down your thoughts in a journal to help organize your feelings. To learn more about how to improve your mental wellness, visit cracct.org.
Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe. We're back. Game Day is brought to you and sponsored by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile is their top priority. Get the personalized dental care that you deserve. Go to waterforddentalhealth.com and check them out. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien. We're 1 quarter away here at Stonington High School.
Start of the fourth.
Start of the fourth quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Killingly. Ball at the Bear 24-yard line. Handoff to Sharp, and that was a really nice job by Massengale.
Yeah.
Massengale actually got to the ball before Sharp did.
There's your sellout.
Yep.
There's your sellout play. Good stop that time by Massengale.
I mean, let's be honest. If Killingly wanted to do play action, someone's going to be running wide open in the middle of the field. If Keefe slipped into the pattern right here, Keefe ran a post, touchdown.
Nor Jacks.
3rd and 8. Drive Holtz. And around it goes to Jax. Jax has all kinds of room, cuts it back straight up the middle. First down, and now that's a time I have to question maybe he should have gone
outside. He'd gone to the outside. I mean, if the pylon was there. I mean, Jack's nice job. It's a tight exchange with the quarterback on the end around. It's off the play action, the fake dive. Jax comes around and grabs it. Yeah, and I agree with you. If he did not cut that up, if he would have stretched that out a little bit, I think he'd have ran to the stick.
As it is, it's first and goal from the 8-yard line. Back to the big jumbo backfield, where they bring Perry in along with Reef and Sharp.
From the 7.
Toss to Sharp, dancing, shows some good feet, but a tackle.
Stop.
Tedeschi that time got him by the feet, and that's a nice tackle.
Yeah. He's played a good game tonight. Tedeschi's done a little bit of everything.
Now, there's no quit in the Bears.
Kid,
that's what I like. There's no quit in the Bears at all. They're still fighting here. 25-7 in the fourth period, but flying to the ball, making the tackles. Killingly gladly taking its time, and I think, again, this will be, they score here, and then it's put it to bedtime.
Around the 5-yard line.
Second and goal from the 5. Quarterback keeper, and Dreibholz will gain maybe a yard and a half. It'll bring up 3rd and goal. Going to creep up to the 3-yard line.
Patrick McGugan hit him initially. Dreibholz showed you his size and his strength, kind of shedded the tackle. And he's a big kid, man, huh? He was just talked about him, and he is almost a perfect quarterback for this offense because, he hands the ball off, he can throw it, he can run it. I mean, he does everything for this team, right? He punts, kicks.
And he just headed to the sideline, and Jax is going to go under center and take this snap. His helmet came off, so he had to exit. A little equipment function. So Jax goes in under center at quarterback. And toss to Sharp. Cuts it back towards the end zone. Dives and touchdown. Killingly, Jack Sharp with a number 5 on the night.
Sharp. High five for number 33. Touchdown, Jack Sharp off the right side.
31-7, Killingly. Hard to believe this thing was 7-0 in the first period, where it looked like Stonington was going to, stand toe-to-toe, and Killingly just wears on you throughout the course of the night. Drive holds in for the extra point.
Drayhooks to try the extra point.
Snaps there. Kick is up, and it's good. 190 yards for Jack Sharp.
Stonington 7.
32-7, Killingly on
work
top.
There, 190 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Not a bad night.
No, not too bad at all.
Not a bad night at all. Bears will get the ball back here. 9:20 remaining in the ballgame.
You like this layout at Stonington High School? You like the baseball field
like
over here, basketball courts down the bottom. Nice little spread. Feels nice. Lights add a lot to it.
So
Stonington athletic sponsor this year.
When we did Ledger at Bacon Academy, I spent a lot of time, and
I heard you talking about the lights
or the lack thereof, as well as the lack of a turf field. And we were at Waterford, and we were at New London, and they had the practice field lit and the baseball field off in the distance and the football field. And you go to Waterford and you see all the fields. You come here and you see the fields. And you go to Fitch and you see the fields. And I mean, which doesn't belong in why. Some school, if you're
but why doesn't Colchester have lights?
And a turf field?
Yeah, well, Fitch doesn't have a turf field.
No, but they have lights and they have
I get it, yeah.
Well, if you could do one, the field's what you want to do.
Right.
Because the Colchester field gets beat up really easily. So there's no sense lighting a bad field. But if I could answer that question, I'd be first selectman of Colchester, which I don't want to be.
You could do that.
No, I'm good.
You're retiring very soon.
A high kick into the end zone, and that's a touchback where
Let's talk about it. You're retiring very soon. You got another big move left in you. You're a young guy.
10 Bears.
Yep.
You got a couple big moves left in you, I think.
We'll see.
First selectman is not one of them?
No. No, I was on the
Board of Ed?
No,
you don't want that either. Come on, jeez.
I spent my time growing up in New London with a family of politicians, of people who were on. My mom was on the Board of Ed. My uncles were on the city council, and I am good to go. Thank you very much.
All right.
I am good. Thank you.
We're gonna find something for you to do, though.
I'm gonna play golf.
No, listen, you're gonna have your hands in the pot somewhere.
Dorian White gonna throw on first down. Out it goes. complete to Blackman. Flag comes in.
Flag on the play, pass complete.
Why are you throwing a flag there?
White.
Good question. Let's find out why they threw the flag.
Block in the back on number 3.
Reef on the tackle.
So that'll be against Stonington. It'll back them up, negating the first down completion to Blackman. More importantly, it stops the clock with 9:14 here.
Yeah.
This is where we would like the clock to keep running.
Well, it's a flag that's just kind of a play on, in my opinion.
So you don't call that foul up when one team's down 20?
I do not. No, I hate to say it, but I don't.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm serious.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, just making a play. I mean, if it's
First and 20 for Stonington.
White gonna throw. And incomplete.
Oh, I think that was your attempt at a screen pass, too. I mean,
White.
Again, just not there. But no, I don't throw a flag with 9 minutes left to go on a nickel timer on the outside that only picked up 3 yards. In a game where a team is down by 25, no, I don't do that.
So it's 8:30. I want to know, is there a Red Sox score?
Started at 8:07.
Yeah. Second and 20. White from the shotgun. Pump fakes. Pressured. Steps up. And he's going to get sacked back inside the 10-yard line.
0-0, bottom of the first. What's your update?
I'm guessing it did not start at 8:07, or else the Red Sox must have had a little action in the top of the first.
Dutson on the sack. Ball's back to the 7-yard line.
2 hits.
2 hits in the first, couldn't get one across, huh?
No, sir.
Third and 23.
I want you to be honest. Have you heard of the pitcher that's pitching for the Astros tonight?
No, I have not.
I love it. I love the sports doctor. All right, third and a lot. Third and 25. White from the shotgun. Pass is complete to Lowry. And get back to the 10-yard line where Stonington will be faced with 4th and long, and they will punt it away with 8 minutes and counting here in the ballgame.
Complete to
from
Lowry.
What's his first name?
Brings up a 4th down.
I don't know. Chris Sale.
Do know Chris Sale, all right.
All right, so in the top of the first, Devers had a hit, Hernandez had a hit, and Bogarts walked.
Starts back
you like
deep
making
kick.
odds over under for innings pitched for Chris Sale tonight?
4 1/3.
I'll take the under.
You'll take the under,
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair catch by Jax at the 35-yard line.
Angelo,
They're not. Cora was clear. He wants 15 outs from his starters, which is 5 innings.
Right.
If he can get any more than that, he's happy. But that's the benchmark. And Sale, of all the guys, will be the first. And part of the reason I think they started him in Game 1 is so that they can go with a Pavetta, someone who might be the Game 4 starter, for a long stint tonight if necessary. So Killingly, first down, 33-yard line of Stonington. Handoff, big hold for Keith Perry, and he'll gain 7 or 8 on first down.
He's the guy to take over next year when Soren Reef goes to the tailback position. Perry will be the
Stopped by one of the interior linemen.
And the band plays
Gain
on.
of 7.
Yeah.
2nd and 3.
It really is something, and I think it says a lot about Chad Neal. The program that he established, that they don't miss a beat.
Well, what do you think they're doing? What do you think if you were a 10-year-old player, 10-year-old football player in Killingly? What do you want to be?
Football player.
You want to be, but what do you? No, if you're playing football, you want to be a running back.
Yeah.
You want to be a running back. Second down and 4. Reef will have the first down, and he'll cross over the 20-yard line to the 18, and it'll be move the chains time.
So it's become kind of the
Reef on the
cliche
carry,
question,
stop,
but
initial
every
hit
time we
by
go up
Oldring.
there to talk to these Killingly kids for a pregame
First down,
feature,
Killingly.
ask them, did you grow up playing youth football here? 201, yes, they all played in the, I forget the name of their league. They all played in that league.
Just outside
They
the
all came to
24-yard
all
line,
the games
first and
when they
10
were kids, and
Killingly.
they remember looking up
24-yard
to
line of
Spencer
Stonington.
Hawkwoods, and
Austin
sure
Caffrey's.
It was the same for Spencer Lockwood. He came and watched the guy before him.
Yeah. And now it's the time for the Perrys and Reefs to look up to Jack Sharp, and they looked up to Lockwood, they looked up to Caffrey, and here we go. First down. Hand off to Perry. Perry breaks a tackle.
Ball's out.
I think he was down, but they're going to say ball down. And if it is down, if it's a fumble, it's recovered by Stonington, but I don't think they're saying he's down. What are they saying? Well, Stonington thinks they recovered fumble, and they did. All right.
Well, the kids had it right that time.
Fumble recovered by
5:35 remaining here in the ball game. Stonington will take over after the fumble recovery. Ball will be right about the 20-yard line.
Yackley was the hit that caused the fumble, number 72.
Jacob Yackley caused the fumble.
First and 10 Bears.
First down, Stonington. White going to throw. Rolls now, pressured. Still rolling. Throws on the run. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
Pass is incomplete.
I think that Jack Sharp might be the player of the game tonight. 5 touchdowns and
almost 200 yards rushing.
200 yards rushing. Yeah.
I think there's actually a few people that you can name. Sharp's the easy candidate, but I'm like,
right.
Killing, you can name a few guys on Killing that played great games.
Second and 10 from the 14-yard line.
100%. $5:27 remaining in the ball game. White from the shotgun. Handles the high snap. Pressured. Complete to Aubry.
Complete from White to Aubry. Forced out of bounds.
The third and short.
On the tackle.
Call it 3rd and 3. As this once capacity crowd starts to thin out a little bit, but the student section's still over there having a fun time in the pink out.
3rd and 2 for the Bears.
3rd and 2 for the Bears.
You'll see a lot of Dorian White come basketball season, I can guarantee you that.
Mike DeMauro went out on a big limb saying he believes the ECC could be the premier basketball conference in the state this year. White that time, ball slipped out of his hand as he was looking for his...
Pass intended.
Really?
Person
Mike
in the
said
pattern.
that?
He was looking for Scahill. Yeah.
Brings him 4th and 2.
Wow. Yeah. Mike DeMauro is very high on the ECC basketball this year. Ledger's going to be good. Fitch is going to be good.
Yeah.
NFA will be good again.
We'll see.
NFA will be fun. You know why? Because they're NFA.
Yeah.
They're big school.
4th and 2.
New London's going to have a couple good players, and St. Bernard's is going to be good. I'll tell you what the difference is going to be here. 4th down and incomplete by White. Turnover on downs. It'll go over to Killingly. The difference is that we may not have the heavyweights.
Pass is incomplete.
But we're going to have a lot of good teams in Division II down.
Ball turns over on downs.
You might not have the double L.
Stonington's going to be good too.
Yep. You might not have the double L school, but you're going to have a bunch of M's and S's and L's. Or Division 2s and 3s versus Division 1s.
Yeah, Jeff will win 13, 14 games at East Lyme too.
Well, that's because he's such a great coach.
He is a good coach.
And Bassett will find a way to win the same. They'll win double digits. Ledger has a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah.
First down, Killingly. Jax will come in at quarterback. Toss to Brandon Rosas. Sophomore running back on the first down carry, no gain.
Rosas tripped up by McGugan.
McGugan tripped him up. We're down 14.
No gains.
14 and change here. Killingly, I think we said, happy to put it to bed with the JV. Rosas will be the back deep. Jax, another toss to Rosas. And a nice job on the edge by Aubry. He was the first one to get him. Aubry was the first guy to get there, and then flying into the ball to Deschke and cleaned him up, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
Overy on the initial hit.
I got a chance for the JV kids to come out there and get some reps.
Lodowick,
Work hard during practice all week long. And
hey, listen, nothing against Brandon Rosas.
Get a little game time.
But I know that Stonington guys are really happy to be tackling a kid his size and no longer trying to bring down Sharp and Reef.
And Perry as well.
Jacks under center, 3rd and long. This time, fullback dive. Not much there.
Chad will go for it on 4th down.
Roses on the carry.
I think from here, unless he wants to let Drybolts try a long field goal just to practice it. I think he'll just go for it and you turn the ball over.
Is that 4th down?
That last run was Brady
4th
O'Donnell.
and a long 10.
So O'Donnell with that carry, then it'll be 4th down and 10. Fourth down, toss to Rosas. Pursued out wide, and great job. That was Starts that got out there first. And turnover on downs with 2:28 remaining in the ball game. It'll be Stonington's chance. Now I'd like to see AJ
Rosas on the carry.
run the ball a few
down
times.
by
and get out
French,
of dodge.
number 24.
Yeah.
1st and 10 Bears.
Lived a big game next week against
Ledger,
as you said, and then how your team is going to respond this week at practice. And I think there's a lot of positives to take away from this game if I'm Stonington. And first of all, the effort was there the entire night. They didn't quit. They didn't pack it in. They got nothing to be embarrassed about. And you see the measuring stick on the state level. When it comes to how good you need to be.
White to throw. Completes to Aubrey. Crossing the 30-yard line.
Yep. Nice pitch and catch.
White to Aubrey. Complete.
It's a nice gain on 1st down. Gain about, they'll call it 8, so 2nd and 2, because we're heading down to 2 minutes remaining in the ballgame.
2nd and 2.
2nd and 2, and Tedeschi will come back in at quarterback. Tedeschi gonna roll. He's gonna keep it himself. Has the 1st down. Bounces it outside. Breaks a tackle and
White on the carry.
Crosses the 40-yard line.
Tough kid.
So
White gets a 1st down. Tackle by Lope,
this is
number
the
21.
lowest point total for Killingly's offense on the season. So, I mean, you look at 5 touchdowns for Sharp, and that seems like a big thing, but
1:43 left in the game. Ball's on the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Bears.
There's something Stonington can hang their hat on.
Yeah, and that was
a positive thing.
A little throw out into the flat to Castagliolo, and Castagliolo will have a gain and cross midfield, and Stonington moving the ball a little bit.
On the tackle, pass complete to Castagliolo.
Jack's on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4. Ball's on the 49-yard line of Killingly.
2nd down. Tedeschi gonna throw. Has time. Now he's pressured. Gonna keep it himself. Breaks a tackle, and he's gonna be brought down by Perry at minimal gain. It'll bring up 3rd down. We're down to about 45 seconds remaining in the ballgame.
Nice job by Stonington tonight. Again, like you said, just
gain of 2.
Too much Killingly, too much Jack Sharp, too much Chad Neal, too much RPO. But fighting until the last second.
Last night we had a hard time figuring out who the player of the game was going to be. Thankfully, we don't have that same issue tonight. Bomb. Tedeschi airing it out, looking for Lowry, and it's going to be incomplete. Overthrown at the 10-yard line. And
head down, talk to the coach.
18 seconds remaining.
Talk to Jack Sharp.
It's not his first rodeo as the Order for Dental Health player of the game. So 4th down for the Bears. The ball will come back to the 49-yard line of Killingly. 18 seconds remaining in the ball game. Tedeschi keeps it himself, cuts it back, crosses the
There she runs
35-yard
for the
line,
first down.
45-yard line. That'll be a first down, and
Stop
that'll
by
move the
Reese,
chains,
number
but the clock is
34.
down 10 seconds and counting, so Stonington might get one more play off. Seven seconds remaining, so one final play if they get a snap off in time. 3, 2, 1, they will. Final play of the game. Tedeschi steps up, heaves it down the middle of the field, and it's tipped and incomplete. And there's your ball game. A game of Bears squad, but too much for the Killingly football team, and they prevail 32-7 tonight here at Stonington High School. 5 touchdowns and close to 200 yards for Jack
Ladies
Sharp.
and gentlemen, that's the end of the
Congratulations, Chad Neal, as they remain undefeated in their quest for a state championship.
Killingly 32, Stonington 7.
We'll be back next week,
Receptacles on the way
continuing our high school football efforts. We'll
Please
also
join us
have
next
soccer
week
and
as the
volleyball
Bears
in the
play
coming weeks.
Ledyard.
For Peter Wappy and the crew, Mike DeMora on the
6:30
sideline, and the
p.m.
sports doctor Keith O'Brien. I am
Have a safe
Casey
trip
O'Neill.
home.
Have a safe night, everybody.
Thank you.